Long Chen was furious. He had never thought that Ho Tianwu would be so stupid that he would still want to get the secret of the 9 stars from him at this time. Seeing Ho Tianwu's order, countless strong men rushed towards the hidden dragon army. Long Chen's killing intent soared to the sky, and the power of the stars burned. He slashed at Ho Tianwu with a knife. It seems that this woman is very important to you. Seeing Long Chen coming like crazy, Ho Tianwu knew Long Chen's weakness at once, and his depressed mood was swept away, and his face was full of ferocious smiles. Buzz! Ho Tianwu saw Long Chen fighting desperately, and he did not dare to neglect it. The power of his bloodline burst out, and the golden long stick hummed and smashed against the dragon bone evil moon. However, when Ho Tianwu hit with a stick, he suddenly realized that something was wrong. Long Chen's knife was powerful and heavy, but he did not feel the fatal oppression. You cheated! Ho Tianwu was shocked and angry. He did not expect that Long Chen was so cunning in his rage and actually used a fake move. Long Chen only slashed out a blade shadow. Under the cover of the blade shadow, Dragon Bone Evil Moon stabbed straight and stabbed directly into Ho Tianwu's chest. You are too stupid! Long Chen shouted angrily. Dang! Ho Tianwu hurriedly waved the golden long stick to block, but missed again. Turned out that Long Chen's attack looked extremely fast, but in fact it was much slower. Ho Tianwu blocked in a panic and did not notice this detail. When the golden long stick passed in front of Dragon Bone Evil Moon suddenly accelerated and stabbed straight out. Long Chen's 2 blades looked ordinary, but in fact they were the condensation of his lifelong experience. It is extremely difficult to deceive a strong man like Ho Tianwu, but Long Chen did it. Puff! The tip of Dragon Bone Evil Moon's blade flashed with cold light, and it pierced through Ho Tianwu's chest in an instant. Bang! The power of Dragon Bone Evil Moon exploded, and a blood hole was blown out in Ho Tianwu's chest, and blood spurted out. What? This sudden change shocked everyone. Ho Tianwu was actually severely injured by Long Chen in an instant. After a successful attack, Long Chen secretly cried out that it was a pity. This Ho Tianwu was too strong. As soon as the Dragon Bone Evil Moon pierced his body, Ho Tianwu's blood power exploded and formed a blocking force. In order not to give Ho Tianwu a chance to block, Long Chen did not wait for the Dragon Bone Evil Moon to go deeper and directly detonated its power. The premature detonation could not cause fatal damage to Ho Tianwu, but it was enough to severely injure him with one blow. The wound on Ho Tianwu's chest was as big as a bowl, bloody, and his ribs were broken, which looked extremely scary. The remnant moon shocks the sky. Long Chen roared, taking advantage of his illness to kill him. The remnant moon floated in the sky, and thousands of roars roared. With one knife the world shook. Long Chen did not give Ho Tianwu any chance to breathe. Ho Tianwu had not yet recovered from the serious injury. Long Chen slashed with all his strength. Ho Tianwu's face was distorted, and suddenly a mouthful of golden blood sprayed on the long stick. Buzz! The golden long stick was nourished by the blood, and billions of runes lit up. It grew rapidly and stretched thousands of miles in an instant, like a beam that supported the sky and stretched across the void. The golden long stick became so huge that Long Chen was like an ant in front of it. No one expected that Ho Tianwu would have such a trick. Boom! Longu Sheiyue slashed fiercely on the huge golden long stick. In the deafening explosion, endless runes flew, and the runes wrapped on the golden long stick exploded. The golden long stick, which was originally shining with golden light, dimmed in an instant, and the strong aura of the long stick also decayed in an instant. Puff! Ho Tianwu hid behind the golden long stick, spurting out a mouthful of blood. He used the power of his blood essence to forcibly awaken the power of the golden long stick. As a result, Long Chen's attack severely damaged both the golden long stick and him. The golden long stick shrank rapidly and fell from the air. It was a terrifying divine weapon, but at this moment it seemed to have become scrap metal. The power of Long Chen's sword was completely blocked by the golden long stick. But Ho Tianwu's mind and blood were connected to the divine weapon, and were also severely damaged. His aura suddenly weakened a lot. Ha! Long Chen followed the sword and took a step forward, appearing in front of Ho Tianwu. At this moment, Ho Tianwu was extremely frustrated. He had amazing strength, but Long Chen caught a weakness and he fell into a place of no return. He had amazing magical powers, but he couldn't use them. Seeing Long Chen's sword fall, the arc of the dragon bone evil moon when it slashed through the void was like the corner of a devil's mouth, with endless ridicule and coldness. Boom! Just when Long Chen thought he could finish off Ho Tianwu with one blow, a tortoise shell gleaming with thousands of divine rays appeared in front of Long Chen. Long Chen's blow hit the tortoise shell firmly, and a loud explosion shook the sky. A burly bald man appeared. It was his timely appearance that saved Ho Tianwu's life. This was a strong man from the Divine Turtle clan, with divine blood flowing in his body. He was also a strong man sealed in the Chaos era. 5 natal dragon veins flowed behind him, and his momentum was not much inferior to Ho Tianwu. The Divine Turtle clan has always been known for its strong bloodline power and desperate defensive ability. Puff! However, he blocked with all his strength. His whole body shook violently, and a mouthful of blood spurted out. Even the race with the strongest defensive power could not withstand such power. But, even though he was injured, he gave Ho Tianwu a chance to breathe, and Long Chen was also shocked by the terrifying recoil force, and his blood surged. Ha! Long Chen had no time to get angry. He stepped diagonally to the left, and then turned around. A phantom appeared in the void. Long Chen was like a ghost, bypassing the strong man of the Divine Turtle clan. If he attacked the strong man of the Divine Turtle clan at this time, there was a 90% chance that he could kill him. But the strong man of the Divine Turtle clan was not Long Chen's target. His target was Ho Tianwu. The biggest reason why Long Chen wanted to kill Ho Tianwu was because he was the leader of the Heavenly Demon Alliance. Killing him would make the heavenly demons leaderless, and it would be possible to resolve the crisis in front of them. Boom! At this time, the strong men of the Heavenly Demon Golden Monkey clan had led other strong men of the Heavenly Demon Alliance to kill Tang Wanner and others. This time, Tang Wanner did not take the initiative to attack. She formed a seal with her jade hands, and the dragon energy of the sky veins circulated, forming a barrier to protect everyone and the 10,000 dragons' nest. At the same time, the 30 million disciples of the Fengshen Hage formed seals with their hands and recited scriptures. The energy around them surged and poured into the barrier continuously. With Tang Wanner's support, the energy of 30 million strong men gathered together and condensed into a rope. Countless attacks fell on the barrier and were bounced off one after another, without even causing ripples. The attacks of the top strong men of the Heavenly Demon Golden Monkey clan only made the barrier tremble, and could not break it at all. Don't stop, we have more people, we can wear them out. Seeing that they could not break through, a leader of the Heavenly Demon Golden Monkey clan shouted directly, intending to use a war of attrition. Boom, boom, boom. Countless strong men of the Heavenly Demon clan attacked the barrier frantically. They were very anxious because they found that Long Chen was more difficult to deal with than they thought. If they could not quickly capture Tang Wanner and others, they would probably have to bear Ho Tianwu's endless anger afterwards. However, the strong men of the Heavenly Demon Alliance were anxious, and Tang Wanner in the barrier was even more anxious. Seeing that there were more and more strong men in the Heavenly Demon Alliance, Long Chen was alone facing the top strong men, which was extremely dangerous. And she had to protect the strong men of the Wind God Sea Pavilion and the Dragon Blood Warriors in the 10,000 Dragons' nest from being disturbed. She could only watch Long Chen fall into a bitter battle. She was anxious and gritted her teeth, but there was nothing she could do. Buzz! At this time, Long Chen flashed past the strong men of the Divine Turtle clan and killed Ho Tianwu from a strange angle, not giving Ho Tianwu any chance to adjust. Swish! However, just as Long Chen was about to make a move, the golden claws tore through the void and grabbed at Long Chen fiercely. The claws broke through the air, and all the laws were grabbed and exploded. It was a golden-winged roc that came to kill. This golden-winged roc, with golden wings and golden claws, was also a strong man who condensed 5 life veins. It showed its true body, and all the strength of its body was concentrated on the golden claws. Long Chen was shocked and angry. He could kill Ho Tianwu. So many people came to make trouble, and each of them was so terrifying. They were not seen just now, but now they all appeared one by one. Facing a strong man of this level, Long Chen could only give up chasing Ho Tianwu. He held the knife in both hands and shouted. The divine light above the dragon bone evil moon burst out, and he chopped at the golden claws. With a loud bang, the golden claws were chopped off by Long Chen, and golden juice splashed. It was the blood of the golden-winged Dapeng. Although this golden-winged Dapeng was at the same level as the strong man of the Divine Turtle Clan, it was unknown whether it had no weapons or was too confident in its claws. As a result, Long Chen chopped off its claws. The golden-winged Dapeng screamed and flew backwards. Long Chen didn't care about being angry. The starlight under his feet flowed, and he rushed towards Ho Tianwu like a meteor. At this time, the golden long stick had returned to Ho Tianwu's hand, and the big hole in Ho Tianwu's chest had been repaired. At that moment Long Chen's heart sank. The golden long stick, which was originally dull and gloomy, was rejuvenated. No one knew what secret method Ho Tianwu had used just now, but he actually repaired the golden long stick in an instant. But no matter what, Long Chen had no way out. He had to kill Ho Tianwu, and he had to do it as quickly as possible. Want to kill me? Dream on. Look at my blood burning. The demon ancestor is coming. Ho Tianwu shouted, and he threw the golden long stick in his hand to the top of his head, put his hands together, and his blood burned all over his body, gathering into a beam of light, rushing towards the golden long stick. The golden long stick trembled violently and spun rapidly in the void, and then a vortex was stirred in the void. The vortex spun faster and faster, and then a vast and desolate breath emerged. The vortex seemed to open the door of time and space, and then violent and bloody fluctuations floated, as if a creature from the chaotic era was about to arrive. Long Chen's heart trembled, but the golden long stick spun slower and slower, and the vortex became smaller and smaller. At that moment, Ho Tianwu's face became extremely ugly. Buzz! At this moment, the dragon bone evil moon had already slashed in front of him. Ho Tianwu had to interrupt the summoning and draw the golden long stick into his hand to block Long Chen's attack. Obviously, his move failed. He had been injured continuously before and lost precious blood essence. He did not have enough strength to complete it. Bang! Long Chen slashed down with a knife, and Ho Tianwu's hands exploded. The golden long stick slipped out of his hand and hit his mouth. Ho Tianwu's mouth was very hard, but it was useless at this time. The golden long stick directly cracked his chin. Ho Tianwu groaned in pain and was shaken away by his own weapon. Ha ha ha! At this moment, a laugh like a thunder resounded through the world, and then a weirdo covered with crystals appeared in front of Long Chen. When he saw the crystal weirdo, Long Chen's pupils shrank suddenly. Blood crystal demon lizard. When Long Chen saw the man, his heart was beating wildly, and he recognized the man's identity. Long Chen had dealt with the strong men of the blood crystal demon lizard clan before. The strong men of this clan possessed powerful thick earth power, and a special power in their thick earth power was called crystal power. The man's body was covered with crystal-like scales, as if he was wearing a crystal armor. On the scales, blood-colored runes flowed, like a natural formation. As soon as he appeared, the earth was shaking, and the endless thick earth power could not help but surge towards him. Thick earth runes surrounded him, as if worshipping a king. Unlike other strong men of the blood crystal demon lizard clan, even his pupils were crystals, as if 2 crystals were embedded in his flesh and blood. Being stared at by these eyes made people feel cold all over, as if their souls were about to be frozen. 7 crystal dragons were rising behind this man, and 7 natal dragon veins were condensed. This was the highest level of Tianxing that Long Chen had seen so far. He stood in the void, looking down at the battlefield. Although he was alone, his aura was overwhelming, and his power was overwhelming, like an emperor descending to the earth. His eyes swept across the battlefield, lingered on Tang Wanner and Long Chen, and finally looked at Ho Tianwu. A strange arc appeared on his face covered with crystals, and he said with endless sarcasm, "Ho Tianwu, the peerless genius of the heavenly demon Golden Monkey clan, one of the heirs to the throne, is this all he has? He was beaten so badly by a small human race, and he is still qualified to command the Heavenly Demon Alliance. You should give up the position of commander obediently." The strong man of the Blood Crystal Demon Lizard clan shook the sky with his voice, and his invincible will was agitated. Countless strong men of the Heavenly Demon Alliance were actually trembling with fear at his voice. It turned out that the Blood Crystal Demon Lizard clan was a race with a great origin. In the Chaos era, it was also a giant. It once dominated the demon realm with the Heavenly Demon Golden Monkey, the Purple-Eyed Nine-Tailed clan, and other clans. However, at that time, the Demon clan all submitted to the Chaos Dragon Emperor. Although they submitted on the surface, they were not under the jurisdiction of the Dragon clan. As long as they did not provoke the Dragon clan would not be willing to be their enemy. Submission was only in name. Now the situation has changed. The Chaos Dragon Emperor has disappeared, and the Dragon clan is torn apart and falling apart. Even if there are some remaining Dragon clans, they are no longer regarded as threats because they have no leader and are constantly fighting among themselves. The Heavenly Demon Golden Monkey clan is powerful and has rich heritage. They formed the Heavenly Demon Alliance. With their powerful strength, coercion, and inducement, they have gathered countless powerful clans. However, there are also many powerful clans who look down on the Heavenly Demon Golden Monkey clan. They know that they are powerful but have no courage and no strategy, and they cannot achieve great things, so they did not join the Heavenly Demon Alliance. The Crystal Demon Lizard clan was once as famous as the Heavenly Demon Golden Monkey clan, and was also one of the royal families among the demons. Naturally, they were unwilling to be inferior to others, but because they acted too late, the Heavenly Demon Golden Monkey had many followers, and it was too late for them to form an alliance. The Heavenly Demon Golden Monkey clan had talked with the Blood Crystal Demon Lizard clan several times, but how could the Blood Crystal Demon Lizard clan be willing to serve them? The Blood Crystal Demon Lizard clan thought that the Heavenly Demon Golden Monkey was too arrogant. The Heavenly Demon Golden Monkey clan thought that the Blood Crystal Demon Lizard clan was ungrateful. At this time, they still didn't understand the situation, so they directly issued a declaration of war to the Blood Crystal Demon Lizard clan. The Blood Crystal Demon Lizard clan naturally wouldn't be afraid of the Heavenly Demon Golden Monkey clan. "If you want to fight, I will fight you. Who is afraid of whom?" But the Blood Crystal Demon Lizard clan miscalculated this time. Although the Heavenly Demon Golden Monkey clan had no brains, some of the races that joined them had brains. They gave advice to the Heavenly Demon Golden Monkey clan not to fight the Blood Crystal Demon Lizard clan head-on, but to use the power of the Heavenly Demon Alliance to gradually occupy the Blood Crystal Demon Lizard territory. They set up an ambush and secretly ambushed the new generation of disciples of the Blood Crystal Demon Lizard clan. A large number of ants can kill an elephant. No matter how powerful the Blood Crystal Demon Lizard clan is, it cannot withstand such cannibalization. The most important thing is that there are strong men like the Heavenly Demon Golden Monkey who are equally matched with them. If this continues, the Blood Crystal Demon Lizard clan will not be able to outlast the opponent. In the end, the Blood Crystal Demon Lizard clan hid directly. After the Blood Crystal Demon Lizard clan hid, the morale of the Heavenly Demon Golden Monkey clan suddenly increased, and those demons who were still waiting and watching, seeing that the Blood Crystal Demon Lizard clan did not dare to challenge the Heavenly Demon Golden Monkey clan, finally had to join. If the powerful Blood Crystal Demon Lizard clan was forced to bow its head, who would have the ability to fight against the Heavenly Demon Golden Monkey clan? The Heavenly Demon Golden Monkey clan did not dare to force the Blood Crystal Demon Lizard clan who hid too much. Seeing that the other party could not pose a threat to them, they stopped forcing them. After all, they were also afraid of forcing the Blood Crystal Demon Lizard clan into a desperate situation, and the blood crystal demon lizard would counterattack before dying. Even if they finally destroyed the blood crystal demon lizard, the heavenly demon golden monkey clan could not afford such a huge loss. The most important thing is that there are more than just 2 royal families among the demons. Who knows if other clans are secretly eyeing them? If the heavenly demon golden monkey clan is seriously injured, and other royal families take action, all their efforts will be in vain, and they may be exterminated. Therefore, the 2 clans have always kept to themselves, and the blood crystal demon lizard clan has been developing in a low-key manner. On the contrary, in the past 100 years, the blood crystal demon lizard clan has begun to become restless, because the blood crystal demon lizard clan has produced countless geniuses, and the blood crystal demon lizard clan has grown rapidly, and even had several frictions with the heavenly demon golden monkey clan. Some people in the blood crystal demon lizard clan even made wild statements, believing that the heavenly demon golden monkey clan has declined, has no successors, and can no longer convince the public, and the blood crystal demon lizard clan will sooner or later replace it. Now, the man from the blood crystal demon lizard clan has arrived, and his words are full of provocation. Ho Tianwu's lungs were almost exploded by his words. He gritted his teeth and said, "Shui Yingfeng, I know you, one of the top strong men of the younger generation of the blood crystal demon lizard clan. I heard that you are shameless. In order to quickly improve, you let a group of younger brothers go around collecting the essence of destiny for you, sacrificing other people's time and delaying other people's practice to help yourself. A selfish person like you, do you have the right to talk about others? I, Ho Tianwu, don't bother to let others help me practice. What's more, you come to command the Heavenly Demon Alliance. Do you want the entire Heavenly Demon Alliance to be a coward like you? Ha ha ha. It's a huge joke." Ho Tianwu laughed, and many strong men behind Ho Tianwu laughed to show their loyalty. But the strong man holding the tortoise shell shield could not laugh. Facing Ho Tianwu's ridicule, Shui Yingfeng's mouth showed a hint of ridicule and said, "Being beaten like this by a small human race, you still have the nerve to speak nonsense? This is a huge joke. And look at me. I will suppress it with a wave of my hand." Ha! Shui Yingfeng suddenly moved. No one expected that he would suddenly attack Long Chun while arguing with Ho Tianwu. He appeared in front of Long Chun in an instant, with his big hand stretched out, and the whole palm was covered with blood-colored crystals. However, before he could make a move, a big hand covered with stars slapped him hard in the face. "Suppress your sister, you country cannon!" With a loud bang, Shui Yingfeng was slapped down by Long Chun in the face in front of countless people's horrified eyes. Long Chun slapped Shui Yingfeng in the face, and Shui Yingfeng was knocked over. He obviously underestimated Long Chun and thought he could take down Long Chun in an instant with an unexpected opportunity. In fact, this Shui Yingfeng was extremely arrogant, self-righteous, and self-righteous. When he was mocking Ho Tianwu, he was quietly operating the power of the dragon veins and locking a position next to Long Chun with the power of the domain, so that he could directly teleport there and launch a surprise attack. However, his little tricks had long been seen clearly by Long Chun. However, facing a master of Shui Yingfeng's level, the killing move must not be used, otherwise he would have a sense and give up the sneak attack. Since he couldn't destroy his body, he simply humiliated his soul. Long Chen's slap was full of strength, but the huge recoil force made Long Chen's hands full of blood. Long Chen's slap was like slapping on granite, and cracks appeared on Shui Yingfeng's face, just like a broken mask. After the slap, Long Chun was surprised and happy. He was surprised that the crystal power of Shui Yingfeng was so terrifying that he couldn't break through it even with a full-strength attack. But he was happy that if he killed Shui Yingfeng and took his heavenly Dao fruit, whether it was given to Li Qi or Song Mingyuan, they would immediately have this heaven-defying ability. Long Chun slapped Shui Yingfeng and knocked him over. The dragon bone evil moon in his left hand crossed the longbow and slashed at Shui Yingfeng. Ka! Long Chun slashed Shui Yingfeng's head fiercely. The huge dragon bone evil moon almost cut Shui Yingfeng's head in half. However, a scene that shocked everyone appeared. Shui Yingfeng was not affected at all. He roared and smashed his fists against Long Chun's chest. Long Chun was also shocked. The head was not the vital point of Shui Yingfeng. He actually misjudged it. Seeing the crystals surging on Shui Yingfeng's fists, As if he was wearing a pair of crystal gloves, 7 air currents swirled on the crystals, which were the power of his 7 heavenly veins gathered. This attack had the power to destroy the world, and Long Chun did not dare to resist it with bare hands. Long Guxiayu retreated immediately and blocked it with his sword. Boom! Long Chen's arms shook violently, and blood spurted wildly. Xue Yingfeng's attack contained his life strength, and the power of his 7 life-born heavenly veins was unreserved. At this time, the suppression of the dragon veins appeared. Long Chun has 5 heavenly veins of dragon energy. If it is based on the heavenly saint realm, it belongs to the middle stage, while Xue Yingfeng has 7 life-born heavenly veins, which belongs to the late stage. The middle stage and the late stage are not only the superposition of quantity, but also the qualitative change. This is why, although the Blood Crystal Demon Lizard Clan and the Heavenly Demon Golden Monkey Clan are at odds with each other, Xue Yingfeng dared to come alone, because he had already taken that step. Xue Yingfeng knocked Long Chun back with his fists, and his chopped head healed instantly, as if he had been injured. But Long Chen's slap made him crazy. He had been domineering and invincible all his life. When had he ever suffered such humiliation? Moreover, he was watched by so many people. He was going crazy. Die! Xue Yingfeng roared, and the 7 dragon chi of the sky veins behind him burned. The hot flames burst out and covered the sky and the earth in an instant. Xue Yingfeng rushed like a mad bull. He had no weapons, but his body was the weapon. He was covered with crystals, like a demon wearing crystal armor, roaring at Long Chun, killing him. Let's see who dies first. Seeing Xue Yingfeng rushing like crazy, Long Chun was also angry. Even if you have the advantage of realm, what does it matter? Evil Moon! Kill him! Long Chun roared. The dragon bone Evil Moon moved high. The sea of stars behind him flowed, thousands of roars. The sea of stars gathered into a galaxy, pouring towards the dragon bone Evil Moon. The endless starry sky was actually injected into the dragon bone Evil Moon by Long Chun. What? All the strong men present were shocked. At that moment, everyone felt their souls tremble. Their scalps tingled, and the strong threat of death enveloped everyone present. Even a strong man of Ho Tianwu's level couldn't help but be horrified. He didn't expect that Long Chun would actually inspire such a terrifying big move. Evil Moon shocking heaven slash. Long Chun roared, and the dragon bone Evil Moon carried all of Long Chen's star power and slashed down fiercely. Long Chun gambled everything on this attack, just to kill this guy. The originally crazy Xue Yingfeng was no longer crazy at this time. Feeling the will to destroy the world on the dragon bone Evil Moon, he felt like falling into an ice cellar. Instead, at this time, he had been locked by the terrifying aura of the dragon bone Evil Moon, and it was impossible to hide. Buzz! Xue Yingfeng's head and limbs suddenly shrank, and he turned into a stone ball with a diameter of about 10 feet. On the stone ball, 7 dragon patterns gathered, and billions of crystals flowed. This guy actually took absolute defense. Boom! Dragon bone Evil Moon fell like a heavenly sword, and slashed fiercely on the stone ball. With a loud bang, the stone ball exploded. Endless crystals flew out, punching holes in the void, and the world instantly became riddled with holes. Puff! The stone ball exploded, the crystals flew, and a figure flew out in a mess. That person was Xue Yingfeng. At this time, he was in a mess. He had long lost his previous domineering aura. Only half of his body was left. He ran while spurting blood. Not dead. Long Chun was shocked and angry. He burned all the power of the stars and merged it with the power of Dragon Bone Evil Moon. This attack was Long Chen's strongest attack so far, but he still couldn't kill this guy. Red Dragon Battle Body, open. Long Chen roared, and the power of dragon blood burst out. The power of stars was exhausted, and he could only use the power of dragon blood. He still has strength. The strong men of the demon clan were shocked. After Long Chun fought Ho Tianwu, Golden Wing Dapeng and the strong men of the Divine Turtle clan, he crippled Xue Yingfeng with a knife. At this time, he still had strength. The loud dragon roar resounded through the world. However, when Long Chun summoned the red dragon battle body, the fanatical dragon blood flowed in his body like magma, and Long Chen's dragon blood power became extremely violent. Long Chun didn't know if this was because of the Emperor Dragon's reverse scale. Today's dragon blood warrior is a little different from before. But at this time, Long Chun couldn't care so much. He had to kill Xue Yingfeng. This guy's ability was too terrifying. Die! Long Chen's dragon blood power burst out, and in the divine ring behind him, a giant dragon claw grabbed Xue Yingfeng fiercely. Xue Yingfeng was shocked and angry when he saw Long Chen's claw coming. He was severely injured by Long Chun and had not recovered yet. Now he could not block Long Chen's move. Human boy, don't be so arrogant. Buzz! A tortoise-shell shield appeared in front of Xue Yingfeng, and it was the strong man from the Divine Turtle Clan again. When seeing the strong man of the Divine Turtle Clan, Long Chun was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. This dead turtle, aren't you in the same group as Ho Tianwu? Why would you help Xue Yingfeng? However, Long Chun soon understood that this bastard was betting on both sides. He saw that Xue Yingfeng had terrifying potential and might be able to unify the demon clan in the future. If he took action now, he could sell a favor. In addition, even if Ho Tianwu blamed him, he could also say that Xue Yingfeng was a member of the demon clan. If he wanted to kill him, it would be Ho Tianwu who would kill him personally. How could he let a human being kill him? In this way, Ho Tianwu couldn't say anything. Long Chun couldn't think that this big turtle actually had such an IQ. Bang! The dragon claw grabbed the tortoise-shell shield. With a loud bang, 5 deep claw marks were left on the tortoise shell. The strong man of the Divine Turtle Clan spurted out a mouthful of blood and flew backwards. When he saw the claw marks on the tortoise shell, he almost died of heartache. The tortoise shell was the treasure of their clan. It was damaged by Long Chen's attack. I'm afraid it will take thousands of years of cultivation to recover. However, his attack also successfully blocked Long Chen's killer, giving Xue Yingfeng a chance to catch his breath. At this time, Xue Yingfeng's half-disappeared body grew again, and his whole body was covered with crystals. Although his aura had decreased, Long Chen's attack did not seem to endanger his life. What kind of heavenly demon golden monkey, what kind of blood crystal demon lizard? They are all a bunch of trash. The glorious light of the ancestors has long been extinguished. It's time for the demon clan to reshuffle. At this time, a sneer came, and a vast pressure swept across the sky. People's hearts shuddered. Looking in the direction of the sound, they saw a dark mass of figures coming from the void. It's the Mammoth Demon Elephant Clan. Some of the strong men of the demon clan exclaimed and recognized their identities. This group of people are over a meter tall with a burly figure, and they have both demonic and demonic auras on their bodies. Before they arrived, the cold aura made people's hair stand on end. The ancestors of the mammoth demon elephants have been unable to be verified, because there are too many legends, and no one knows whether they are true or false. But one thing people know is that in modern times, the mammoths somehow got infected with demonic energy and formed a new race. They not only possessed the terrifying power of the monsters, but also mastered the magical powers of the demons. The mammoths are a new race that has only appeared in people's vision in the last few thousand years, but they have risen like a comet, rampaging the demons and monsters, and their strength is amazing, because both the demons and monsters regard them as aliens, but no matter how the two tribes look down on them, the mammoths can still live a comfortable life, which shows that their strength is very extraordinary. However, the mammoths have always been mysterious. Although people have heard of them, not many have seen them. Now, millions of strong men from the mammoths have appeared, shocking countless people. The strong men of the mammoths are tall, and the leader is much taller than the others, while the others only reach his armpits. This man's arms and neck are covered with blue veins, as if there are hundreds of small snakes entwined under the skin. The sense of power and oppression is chilling. Under the entanglement of demonic energy and demonic energy, he was like a demon walking between the two worlds. His cold eyes were full of indifference and ridicule for life. Another 7-veined dragon vein. When they saw the 7 dragon veins entangled behind the man, all the powerful demons were shocked. What's going on? Are they all coming for Ho Tianwu? First, the blood crystal demon lizard clan appeared, and now there is the mammoth demon elephant clan. Both of them are at a higher level than Ho Tianwu. Are they going to compete for the ruling power of the Heavenly Demon Alliance? Seeing the strong men of the mammoth demon elephant clan appear, Long Chen's heart sank. In the Tianyuan world, the foundation of the demon clan is too terrifying. At this time, the light on the 10,000 dragons' nest flashed rapidly, which meant that the dragon blood warriors had entered an important stage of recovery. If they were awakened at this time, they would not only fail to recover, but would even cause some irreversible damage. Gu Yong and others did not completely close the 10,000 dragons' nest because they were worried about the safety of Tang Wanner and others. They wanted to perceive the outside world through the 10,000 dragons' nest. If someone attacks the 10,000 dragons' nest, they will do everything they can to interrupt the recovery process and fight to the death. Gu Yang's behavior put Long Chun in a dilemma. If Gu Yang completely closed the 10,000 dragon nest, then with the defense of the 10,000 dragon nest, these people would not be able to attack the 10,000 dragon nest. At most, they could kick the 10,000 dragon nest out of the space channel, but they could not hurt the dragon blood warriors inside. But now it is different. Everyone is in a passive position. At this time, Long Chen's star power has been exhausted. Although he has the power of dragon blood, facing so many strong people, even Long Chen feels powerless. Now recalling Feng Xinyue's warning, Long Chen finally understood what it meant to not listen to the old man and suffer losses. Golden heavenly demon monkey? Blood crystal demon lizard? The former royal family? It's just a huge joke. Over there, Brahma has firmly controlled the passage, and no one dares to cross the line. And here, a group of demons surrounded the passage, but were blocked by a group of small humans. It's just a huge shame. The leader of the mammoth demon elephant clan came to the battlefield, looked at everyone, and had a mocking look on his face. Demon clan, it's time to change a new leader. Since you are so incompetent, let me, Xiang Tu, take charge of the demon clan. Xiang Tu? Who are you? A race of unknown origin, also want to rule the demon clan? Are you dreaming? Ho Tianwu sneered. At this time, Ho Tianwu, after a short breath, had recovered a lot of his strength. Seeing that Xiang Tu was extremely arrogant, he couldn't help but retort. It doesn't matter whether the origin is clear or not. What's important is that the footsteps of my mammoth demon elephant clan will never be blocked by a few humble human races. What you can't do, let me, Xiang Tu, do it. Xiang Tu snorted coldly, waved his big hand, and a bone ivory spear appeared in his hand. Kill all the human race for me. Xiang Tu snorted coldly, stepped across the entire battlefield, came in front of Long Chun, and the power of the 7 meridians ignited and swept with a spear. Bang! Facing this level of strong, Long Chun swung his sword with all his strength to block, but he had already fought 2 masters, and his strength was seriously depleted, while the opponent was at his peak. Long Chun couldn't stop it at all and was blown away. Human ants, go to hell. Xiang Tu shook Long Chun away with a blow, and a mocking look appeared at the corner of his mouth. The long spear suddenly flew out of his hand and shot straight at Long Chun, with a deafening sound of breaking through the air. Long Chun. Tang Wanner was shocked and was about to rush out to help Long Chun, but was stopped by Long Chun. If Tang Wanner hadn't presided over the barrier, it would explode instantly. If one person broke through the blockade and attacked the 10,000 dragons' nest, all efforts would be in vain. Buzz! Long Chun suddenly put away the dragon bone evil moon, formed a shield with both hands, and a shield appeared. The word "you" appeared on the shield. Puff! The shield appeared, but was pierced by the ivory spear. Long Chen's heart trembled. The power of the stars was exhausted, and even the defense of the Yu shield was weakened so much. However, although the shield was broken, it blocked the attack. The spear was only a few inches away from Long Chen's nose. Pa! Suddenly a big hand grasped the spear, and the spear shook violently. The shield exploded with a bang. It was the elephant massacre. His body was tall but extremely flexible. The moment the shield was shattered, the spear pierced straight into Long Chen's brow. Boom! The dragon bone evil moon returned to Long Chen's hand again, and accurately slashed on the tip of the spear. With a loud bang, the tip of the spear was deflected. Xiang Tu obviously didn't expect Long Chen's reaction to be so fast. He was actually staggered by Long Chen's sword and fell towards Long Chen involuntarily. He changed his moves very quickly, and immediately lowered his shoulders and bent his elbows, and slammed into Long Chen. Pa! However, at the moment he changed his moves, Long Chen slapped him. With a loud bang, Xiang Tu's out-of-control body was instantly straightened. This attack was not intentional by Long Chen, but he saw the opponent's big face approaching, and he instinctively slapped over. After a crisp sound, the strong men of the entire demon clan camp opened their mouths wide and looked at them in disbelief. The peerless strong men of the demon race, the monsters of the chaotic era, standing at the top of the Tianjiao, overlooking the existence of the eternal fairy sky, could not escape the clutches of Long Chen. Ho Tianwu, Shuang Feng and the Xiang Tu in front of them were so powerful that people could not imagine that each of them was slapped by Long Chen. What is a slap? It is an extreme humiliation. The more powerful and arrogant people are, the more they cannot bear this humiliation. But today, Long Chen has fully demonstrated the word humiliation. Regardless of whether Long Chen lives or dies today, just relying on these 3 slaps is enough to make him famous. In fact, Long Chen did not think about slapping Xiang Tuesday. At this time, he did not have the heart to do so. A slap that did not hurt or itch would not bring any practical benefits to Long Chen. However, Xiang Tu approached his face, and Long Chen could only fulfill his wish. After a slap, Long Chen slashed the dragon bone evil moon in his hand, and the power of dragon blood burst out. Buzz, buzz, buzz. However, what made Long Chen feel terrible was that his dragon blood power was extremely violent at this time, and there were signs that it was out of control. When he slashed with his sword, the blade shook, and a phantom as wide as a finger appeared on the blade. This was a manifestation of the inability to concentrate the power and the unstable holding of the sword. In this state, the dragon blood power could not be truly exerted. Boom! As expected, Xiang Tu blocked it casually, and with a loud bang, Long Chen was shocked and flew backwards in a mess, spurting out a mouthful of blood. After spurting out a mouthful of blood, Long Chen's dragon blood power seemed to have found an outlet, and another mouthful of blood was about to spurt out. Long Chen was horrified and hurriedly used the purple blood power to suppress it. The purple blood power was not as violent as the dragon blood power, but it was extremely gentle. When the purple blood power attacked, the violent dragon blood power suddenly became softer. Swish! However, the blood that Long Chen spurted out turned into light smoke in the void and actually flew towards the direction of the 10,000 Dragons' Nest. Finally, the light smoke bypassed the 10,000 Dragons' Nest and was absorbed by the huge passage. Long Chen was shocked. His blood essence was actually absorbed by the Imperial Path Reverse Scale. At that moment, Long Chen thought of a possibility that made his scalp numb. He wanted to obtain the Imperial Path Reverse Scale, and the Imperial Path Reverse Scale also wanted the blood essence in his body. Damn reptile! Dare to blaspheme Grandpa! Die! Xiang Tu was slapped by Long Chen. Although he was not injured, half of his face was burning. He was furious and took a step forward. The ivory bone spear stabbed at Long Chen. When Xiang Tu came, Long Chen secretly groaned. At this time, his star power was exhausted, and the dragon blood power could not be used. The purple blood power was still soothing the dragon blood power. OM! The 7-color divine light flowed on the dragon bone evil moon in Long Chen's hand. In this state, he could only use the power of the 7-color supreme blood. Boom! The 7-color divine light exploded, and the dragon bone evil moon flew out of his hand. Long Chen's right hand was even more bloody. Long Chen! Tang Wanner screamed in the distance. At that moment, her silver teeth bit through her cherry lips, and blood flowed down the corners of her mouth. She wanted to go over and save Long Chen, but if she did, the Dragon Blood Warriors would be in a desperate situation. If she saved Long Chen, if something happened to the Dragon Blood Warriors, Long Chen would never forgive her. However, if she didn't take action, Long Chen would definitely die in the hands of the Elephant Butcher. Her tears could not stop flowing out. At that moment, her mind was blank and she trembled all over. She didn't know what to do. Puff! Dragon Bone Evil Moon was shaken away, and Long Chen's empty door was wide open. Although the ivory spear had been unloaded with most of its power, it did not change direction and pierced Long Chen's chest. The sharp spear went straight through Long Chen's chest. The ivory spear, more than 10 feet long, pierced Long Chen's body. Seeing that the blow severely injured Long Chen, the Elephant Butcher stretched out his big hand to grab Long Chen's throat. He didn't want Long Chen to die so soon. He wanted to make Long Chen live a life worse than death. Brother Long Chen. Seeing this, Xiao Yu and the others were furious. At that moment, they were going crazy and wanted to rush out of the barrier to save Long Chen. Buzz! At this moment, Long Chen's left hand suddenly opened, and a strange vine leaf emerged. Black thunder flowed, and an evil aura bloomed. A sinister smile appeared on the corner of Long Chen's mouth, and the leaf in his hand slammed towards Xiang Tu's chest. Xiang Tu's fingers had already touched Long Chen's neck. Suddenly, a strong breath of death enveloped him. At that moment, his hair stood on end, as if he was thrown into an ice cellar. It was too late for him to dodge. The divine light flowed in front of his chest, and 7 life veins appeared in front of his chest, forming a shield to block Long Chen's attack. Puff! Long Chen slapped out with his palm, blood splashed, Xiang Tu's shield exploded, and a big hole was pierced through his thick chest by Long Chen's palm. Boom! With a loud bang, Long Chen and Xiang Tu flew backwards at the same time. This move of exchanging injuries for injuries and lives for lives stunned countless Monster Clan strongmen. Only then did they understand that Long Chen's Dragon Bone Evil Moon was actually released on purpose. His goal was to use the power of the Dragon Bone Evil Moon to remove the power of the Ivory Bone Spear. The power after removal was just within the range of his physical body, and he did not change the direction of the spear. Recalling the action just now, Long Chen seemed to have deliberately used his chest to meet the spear, but at that time, his left hand was behind his back. People did not notice this detail at that time. Now thinking about it, all of this was calculated by Long Chen. Long Chen deliberately used this method to get close to Xiang Tu and give him a fatal blow. What made the Monster Clan strongmen feel scalp numb was that Long Chen also estimated that Xiang Tu did not want to kill him directly, but wanted to torture him. It was because Xiang Tu wanted to leave a survivor that he grabbed his neck. It was this action that gave Long Chen the best chance to escape. Long Chen was gambling with his life and he won the bet. What frightened the Monster Clan strongmen the most was that Long Chen's eyes were cold from beginning to end, and that kind of calmness made people feel terrified. You? Puff! Xiang Tu was hit hard by a blow. He pointed at Long Chen and was about to say something when suddenly a mouthful of blood spurted out. The blood he spurted out actually had a foul smell. At the same time, he was shocked to find that the wound on his chest was filled with endless black lightning, which was frantically corroding his body. Even the power of destiny could not resist this terrifying power. Ha! Suddenly, countless strong men of the Mammoth Demon Elephant Clan saw that the situation was not good, and at the same time, they formed seals with their hands, and the demonic energy rose, covering Xiang Tu. Countless strong men of the Mammoth Clan, black lightning appeared around their bodies at the same time. They actually used their collective strength to help Xiang Tu share the terrifying power. Millions of strong men of the Mammoth Demon Elephant Clan shared the power at the same time, and everyone's face was filled with black air. as if they were poisoned. However, with so many people sharing the power, Long Chen's vine power could no longer be fatal. However, even with so many people sharing the power, Xiang Tu was still extremely uncomfortable, and his body could not recover for a while. Die, stupid human race. OM. Suddenly, the void trembled, and golden wings covered the sky. The strong men of the Golden Wing Dapeng clan saw the opportunity and launched an attack directly. Even if I, Long Chen, am in dire straits, I will not die at the hands of a rubbish like you. Looking at the Golden Wing Dapeng, Long Chen was already seriously injured and had no power to resist. He suddenly closed one eye and prepared to use the Eye of Purgatory. This was his last resort. He only hoped to kill this guy with one blow, but even if he killed him, it would be useless. There were too many people in the Heavenly Demon Alliance, but at this time he could only focus on the present. Who dares to bully my brother Long? At this moment, a thunderous roar, like the roar of an ancient barbarian god, came, and then a pair of golden hands stretched out from the void and grabbed the Golden Wing Dapeng. The Golden Wing Dapeng had a wingspan of thousands of miles, but in front of that giant hand, it was like a chicken. Shoo! Before the Golden Wing Dapeng could struggle frantically, it could not break free at all. The big hands pulled hard, blood splashed, and the Golden Wing Dapeng was torn into two pieces. The Golden Wing Dapeng, the top powerhouse in the Heavenly Demon Alliance, could not withstand the tearing of the Golden Hand. Boom! Suddenly, a huge head popped out from the void, opened its big mouth, and in the horrified eyes of countless people, the Golden Wing Dapeng was stuffed into the mouth. Baji, Baji! In the splashing blood, people finally saw the figure standing tall. Aman! The man was huge, with blood rushing to the sky, and his whole body was shining with golden divine light. The barbarian patterns flowed, like a golden dragon swimming. He was like an ancient giant god descended to the world, but his breath was still so familiar. When seeing Amon's appearance, Long Chen's nose was sour. This silly boy, unexpectedly became so strong. Brother Long. Amon appeared, and when he saw Long Chen covered in blood and a big hole in his chest, he roared like a beast. You all go to hell. Amon roared, raised his big foot, and kicked the monsters in front of him. Boom! A man stepped on the ground, and the ground exploded. Golden air waves gushed out, and the air waves were like raging waves in the sea, whistling in all directions. Puff, puff, puff. Countless powerful monsters were directly crushed by the golden air waves. After the air waves, it is unknown how many powerful monsters were killed. Damn barbarian, die. Blood is burning. The demon ancestor is coming. When a man appeared, Ho Tianwu, who had been fully rested, roared, and thousands of roads behind him collapsed, and a huge figure emerged. It was a golden monster, with golden light all over its body, and its size was comparable to a man. As soon as it appeared, Ho Tianwu's golden long stick appeared in its hand. At this time, the golden long stick became bigger again, just like when it was hit by Long Chen with all its strength. The big monster was the heroic spirit summoned by Ho Tianwu. He had used this trick before when he fought against Long Chen, but because of the excessive consumption before, the summoning failed. This time, he succeeded. The big demon appeared, demonic energy soared to the sky. The power of the ancient world permeated, holding a golden long stick, and smashed at a man with the stick. At this time, a man became crazy because Long Chen was injured, and rushed forward, but was hit hard on the head by the big demon with a stick. Ah man! Long Chen was so scared that his face turned pale. Can't this stupid boy see the guy in front of him? He didn't dodge or block, and even lowered his head and kicked the powerful demons who were fleeing in chaos. Bang! The golden long stick hit a man's head hard, and there was a loud bang. A man's huge body shook violently, and the ground under his feet exploded, and his knees sank deeply into the ground. After this devastating blow, a man's head was visibly swollen. A man was in pain and held his head with both hands. He then noticed that there was a huge heroic spirit standing in front of him. And the summoned heroic spirit seemed to have a certain consciousness. After the blow, he looked at a man stupidly, as if he couldn't believe his eyes. "Go to hell!" A man touched the blood clot on his forehead, and suddenly roared, and a bone stick appeared in his hand. The bone stick seemed to be the leg bone of a beast, thin on one side and thick on the other, and covered with golden runes. When it appeared, thousands of roars, the world changed color, and the terrifying pressure radiated the 9 heavens. A man held the bone stick and smashed it hard at the heroic spirit. The heroic spirit held a golden long stick, and seemed to chant a spell. The whole body was filled with golden light, and the long stick was slanted to block the blow. Bang! However, when a man smashed the stick, the heroic spirit exploded, and the golden long stick was shaken away. Ho Tianwu and Tianwu in the distance spurted out blood, and his eyes were full of horror. This ancestor's heroic spirit is one of his strongest tricks. Although he was injured continuously, which led to the reduction of the power of offerings, the power of the heroic spirit was limited to a certain extent. However, this heroic spirit is the ancestor of the heavenly demon Golden Monkey clan, and its strength is amazing. He summoned it at this time to establish his prestige and tell Shui Yingfeng and Xiang Tu who is the real commander of the demon clan. However, he never expected that his heroic spirit would be smashed by a man's stick, and he himself suffered a certain backlash, and his breath instantly became weak. Death! A man killed the heroic spirit and saw Ho Tianwu at a glance. He held a bone stick and smashed it at Ho Tianwu. Buzz! At this time, a tortoise-shell shield appeared, and the strong man of the Divine Turtle clan appeared again at this time. Puff! As a result, after a man's stick, the strong man of the Divine Turtle clan was smashed into powder in an instant, including the tortoise-shell and the person. Although the strong men of the Divine Turtle clan had amazing defensive power and were protected by the tortoise-shell of their ancestors, not to mention that the tortoise-shell had been partially destroyed by Long Chen's dragon claws, resulting in a significant reduction in defensive power. Even if it was intact, it could not withstand a man's blow. "You are the ones who hurt my brother Long. You are all bad guys, all go to hell." A man knocked the strong men of the Divine Turtle clan to death with a stick, but was also slowed down by his block. His eyes swept over Ho Tianwu, Shui Yingfeng and Xiang Tuesday. He saw that these 3 people were the strongest, and their auras were fluctuating. They should have just experienced a battle. Ha! A man did not give them a chance to explain. The golden bone stick swept across, covering the space of tens of thousands of miles, and the violent blood and chi power enveloped all 3 people. Golden monkey riding the sky. Blood crystal shield. Demon elephant holding the sky. Ho Tianwu, Shui Yingfeng, and Xiang Tu were shocked and angry. How could a terrifying barbarian suddenly appear and attack the 3 of them at the same time, and counterattack at the same time? With a loud bang, the 3 people's magical powers were blown up by a man's stick. The 3 people turned into gourds rolling on the ground and flew far away. They were bleeding wildly and looked extremely embarrassed. The 3 people were furious and felt aggrieved again. They were all injured before, and now they met a man in his prime. The 3 people also suffered a great loss together. "Damn barbarian, you are too much. If you hadn't been injured before, I would have killed you today." Ho Tianwu shouted, but as soon as he finished speaking, he appeared tens of thousands of miles away. This guy was the first to escape. Xiang Tu and Shui Yingfeng saw that the situation was not good, so they also ran away. This man was too strong. If he was in his prime, he could still fight. If he didn't run away now, he might really stay here forever. A bunch of cowards. So many of you are fighting against Brother Long Chun in a round-robin manner. Has Brother Long Chun ever complained? Seeing Ho Tianwu scolding, Xiaoya shouted loudly and felt sorry for Long Chun. Countless monsters fled in all directions, but they heard Xiaoya's words clearly. They remembered at this time that Long Chun had fought Ho Tianwu, Shui Yingfeng and Xiang Tu successively, and there were also strong men from the Divine Turtle clan and the Golden Wing Daping clan interfering, But Long Chun had never complained about unfairness. Some monsters looked back at the distance, looking at the bloody Long Chun with a bloody hole on his chest. But his face was still cold. His eyes that looked down on the world and looked down on the crowd made people tremble. Still want to escape? Come back dead. A man saw this group of people running away, and he was very anxious and wanted to chase them, but 3 people ran in 3 directions and he didn't know who to chase for a while. Ah man, don't chase them. Come and let Brother Long take a good look at you. Long Chun suppressed his excitement, but later, his voice was a little choked. Brother Long. A man put away his giant body and transformed into a normal body. To Long Chun's surprise, a man's body was much smaller than before, and now he was only 2 heads taller than Long Chun. When a man came to Long Chun and saw Long Chun's familiar appearance, a man suddenly hugged Long Chun and burst into tears, just like a wandering child who finally saw his relatives. At this time, a man no longer had the ferocity before, and showed only a simple and honest child. Good brother, don't cry, we should be happy. Long Chun patted a man's thick shoulders, feeling a man's familiar breath. Long Chun told him not to cry, but he had already burst into tears. A man's origin is mysterious. He was lonely since childhood, suffered humiliation, and starved until he met Long Chun. Long Chun always treated him as his own brother and even asked him to call his mother mother. The last time Long Chun and a man met briefly, although he knew a man was safe, he knew a man's wisdom was limited and he was always worried that he would be used by others and suffer a great loss. Now that they met again, Long Chun finally felt relieved. At this time, the strong men of the Heavenly Demon Alliance had already fled, and there were no enemies in the whole field. The barrier was still there, but Tang Wanner and the warriors of the Hidden Dragon Army came over. Tang Wanner couldn't help but burst into tears when she saw a man. Everyone in the Dragon Blood Army treated a man as a brother. Now that they met here, Tang Wanner was so excited that she couldn't say a word. The Hidden Dragon warriors didn't know who a man was, but when they saw him tearing the golden-winged Dapang with his bare hands, blowing up the strong men of the Divine Turtle Clan, and defeating the 3 peerless strong men with 1 stick, they were all full of awe of him. However, seeing him crying like a child at this time, they couldn't help but be stunned for a moment. Is he really the ferocious giant god just now? Good brother. Tell Brother Long, how did you find us? Long Chun asked after a man's emotions calmed down a little. A man then stopped crying and told her story. It turned out that when a man entered the Tianmai Shenjing, he was accompanied by tens of thousands of strong men from the Shuaman clan. But a man disliked their slow speed and ran away regardless of their dissuasion. After running for 3 days, he remembered that he didn't know where Brother Long was and how to find him. Then he ran back again, trying to find the team. As a result, what he called running back was not the original way at all. He had long lost the sense of direction. After running around for 3 days, he waited in the same place, but no one came. A man was very anxious. He thought that before entering, so many people were against Brother Long, so he had to find Brother Long quickly. Then he started running around again. Once he met a living being, he asked, "Have you seen my Brother Long?" The other party was confused by the question, and some living beings, seeing that a man was alone and stupid, directly killed him. If a human attacked him, a man would run away. He knew that Long Chun was a human, so he would not easily kill a human. But if the one who attacked was a demon, a devil, or other alien race, a man would not be polite. He would beat him to death with a stick and eat him alive. After he was full, he would start running wildly. When he was hungry, he would attack the beasts in the Tianmai Shen realm. There were many beasts in the Tianmai Shen realm, and most of them had to protect their own territory. Once someone approached, they would actively release their breath to deter others, making them very easy to find. So once a man was hungry, he would attack the target as soon as he saw it. He could not tell the strength of the beast. If he could beat it, he would kill it and eat its meat. If he could not beat it, he would run away. As for the treasures guarded by the beasts, he didn't know them either. He would leave after eating. In this way, a man crossed the Tianmai Shenjing several times, but he could not find Long Chun. he cried anxiously several times. Once, a man was sitting on a mountain crying and saw a strange man. There was a huge dice in the vision behind that man. Hu Feng. When Long Chen heard this, he shouted excitedly. Yes, yes, it's Hu Feng. It's a pity that I'm too stupid and couldn't remember his name at that time. A man slapped his thigh. Is it really Hu Feng? Long Chen's heart was beating wildly. Maybe, I'm not sure. Seeing Long Chen said this, a man hesitated again. Long Chen was speechless for a while. A man's strength was getting more and more terrifying, but his IQ was not improved at all. Hu Feng was obviously someone he knew, so how could he not be sure? After Long Chen continued to ask, he knew. The man carrying the dice was actually a teenager who looked only 16 or 17 years old. A man didn't remember Hu Feng's appearance, but he remembered the dice behind him. When he saw the boy, he habitually said, "Have you seen my brother Long?" The boy was stunned at the time, took a closer look at a man, and asked, "Do we know each other?" A man said that he should know each other, and then asked again, "Have you seen my brother Long?" The boy asked who Long was, and a man said, "You know him too?" The boy was speechless and asked a man a few questions. But a man's words were not logical at all. The boy felt dizzy and didn't understand what a man wanted to express. In the end, he used the dice behind him as if he used divination, and then pointed in a direction, asking a man to run in this direction. Don't turn, maybe you can get what you want. After hearing this, a man ran all the way along the road pointed by the boy without saying a word, not daring to stop at all. After running for a day, he sensed the breath of Long Chen, which was as dazzling as the rising sun to a man. He killed him directly and saved Long Chen at the critical moment. Long Chen, do you think that person is Hu Feng? Tang Wanner's eyes revealed an expression of disbelief. When the Tianwu continent was in the world-destroying war, Hu Feng fell and everyone saw it. The fall of Hu Feng, Ling Yunzi, Chu Jianying, the old man, Li Tianxian and others has always been a pain in everyone's heart. When Long Chen and Tang Wanner heard the young man mentioned by a man, their hearts were pounding. The way of gambling has always been a mysterious inheritance. Even if I have searched through the ancient books of the fairy world, I have not found much valuable information about this lineage. As for whether it is or not, it doesn't matter. I believe that it won't be long before this mystery will be solved. Ahem. Suddenly Long Chen coughed, and the wound on his chest trembled violently. Brother Long. A man was shocked and angry when he saw Long Chen injured. He wished he could catch those animals and beat them to death. I'm fine. I'll be fine after a while. Long Chen hurriedly comforted a man. The veins on this guy's forehead were throbbing, which was very scary. Buzz! At this moment, the 10,000 dragon nest trembled slightly, and countless runes on the 10,000 dragon nest lit up. In the space channel behind the 10,000 dragon nest, a vast torrent gushed out. The power of the Imperial Path reverse scale has begun to be released. When Long Chen saw the scene, his heart was pounding. Buzz, buzz, buzz. In the huge passage, endless energy gushed out. The 10,000 dragons nest blocked in front of it, and was pulled by the energy and shook. Such a pure power of destiny. Tang Wanner looked at the gushing energy and couldn't help but feel ecstatic. Now that the enemies have retreated, this endless energy will be theirs alone. Long Chen, you have the power of dragon blood, so you should be able to open the 10,000 dragons nest. Go in and see how Guyang and the others are doing. Tang Wanner said. Long Chen nodded, patted a man on the shoulder and said, Ah man, you and Sister Wanner stay here. I'll go to the 10,000 dragons nest to take a look. A man looked at Long Chen, a little reluctant. After meeting Long Chen, he didn't want to be separated from Long Chen for a moment. Seeing this, Tang Wanner knew that a man didn't understand what Long Chen meant, and thought that once Long Chen left, it would take an unknown amount of time before they could meet again. She hurriedly comforted him and told him that Long Chen would be back soon. A man then showed an honest smile. By the way, a man, do you still have food? Long Chen suddenly asked. A man is different from others. He cannot be hungry. Once his stomach is empty, his fighting power will plummet. If he is overdrawn, he will fall into a coma. I don't have much food in my pocket. It's enough for 2 meals. A man said, opening a strange bag on his waist. Long Chun and Tang Wanner looked inside the bag and couldn't help but feel their hearts pounding. There were all beings above the 5th grade God Emperor. There were magic beasts, demon beasts, and some creatures that even Long Chun didn't recognize. There were more than 100 of them. This bag, called Chenquin bag, was made of the skin of a space monster. The space was huge. Those monsters that looked like mountains looked as small as chickens in the bag. More than 100 high-level God Emperor-level monsters were only enough for 2 meals. A man's appetite was too scary. Knowing that a man still had rations, Long Chun was relieved and told him to stay here and listen to Sister Wanner, and then walk towards the 10,000 Dragons' Nest. Long Chun used the power of dragon blood to open the barrier of the 10,000 Dragons' Nest and flashed into the 10,000 Dragons' Nest. As soon as he entered the main hall of the 10,000 Dragons' Nest, he saw Guyang, Li Qi, Song Mingyuan, Guoran, Xiachun, and other soldiers of the Dragon Blood Corps sitting cross-legged on the ground. Endless divine light enveloped them, and their eyes were closed, still in meditation. Long Chen's divine sense swept across the entire 10,000 Dragons' Nest. Soon, Long Chun found the strong men of the Dragon Domain in another hall. What shocked Long Chun was that tens of millions of strong men from the Dragon Domain were lying on the ground in all directions. Each of them was as pale as paper. Their blood was almost dry, and their life breath was very weak. It seemed that the fire of the soul was about to go out at any time. How could this happen? What happened? Long Chun couldn't help but look horrified. I guided them here to draw out the Imperial Path Reverse Scale from the ground, but if you want to draw the Imperial Path Reverse Scale, you have to pay a price. Suddenly, the voice of the Chaos Dragon Emperor came to Long Chen's mind. Does this cost them their lives? Long Chen looked incredulous. This is a test. If they don't have the courage to sacrifice their lives, how can they get the luck of the Imperial Scale? Said the Chaos Dragon Emperor. Long Chen's heart trembled. It seemed that the Chaos Dragon Emperor was still dissatisfied with these descendants, and his methods were very severe. If they didn't pass the test, he would never allow them to get the benefits of the Imperial Scale. At that time, I gave them a choice, either to sacrifice their blood soul and life force to complete the Dragon Blood Core, or to part ways with the Dragon Blood Core and find their own way out. The Chaos Dragon Emperor said, "Senior, you are too cruel." Long Chun smiled bitterly. Sacrificing blood soul and life force, even if they don't die, it will cost them half their lives. More importantly, blood soul power and life force are the lifeblood of practitioners. Excessive sacrifices will seriously affect a person's qualifications, and if things go wrong, their realm in this life will be fixed. For a genius, he can accept death, but he absolutely cannot accept this result. Therefore, Chaos Dragon Emperor's approach is too cruel. And judging from the situation of the strongest geniuses in Dragon Domain, such as Mo Yang and Qi Wufeng, their blood soul power is almost exhausted. They really use their lives to complete the Dragon Blood Core. Thinking of this, Long Chun couldn't help but feel a little annoyed. Chaos Dragon Emperor is too unkind. The disciples of Dragon Domain have exhausted their blood soul power and life force, and activated the blood power of the Imperial Way Reverse Scale. Their lives can only be maintained by this 10,000 Dragons' Nest. But this is just the first step. In order to lead the Imperial Way Reverse Scale out of the other world, the invincible will of the Dragon Blood Warriors and the Dragon Soul power in their bodies are also needed. Therefore, the Imperial Way Reverse Scale appears in the world, and the Dragon Blood Core has almost exhausted its own strength. But this will be a great opportunity for them. Chaos Dragon Emperor said. Great opportunity? If a man hadn't appeared, we would all be dead. Long Chen said unhappily. You pushed yourself into a desperate situation because you were too stupid. When you defeated Ho Tianwu and Xue Yingfeng arrived, it was no longer a fair duel. You should have summoned the six-horned evil fly. But you still foolishly fought them hard. And finally you were exhausted and even had no strength to summon the six-horned evil fly. Chaos Dragon Emperor snorted coldly. Hearing the words of Chaos Dragon Emperor, Long Chun immediately shut his mouth. He still had a strongest trump card that he had not used, but facing a strong man of the same level, Long Chun's pride did not allow him to use this trump card. However, when Long Chun wanted to use the six-horned evil fly, he found that his blood power and soul power were too severely consumed, and he could not activate the spell on the six-horned evil fly. This was something he had never expected in advance. If a man had not arrived in time, Long Chun would probably be finished today. In the words of Chaos Dragon Emperor, today's situation was caused by his own stupidity. Okay, I admit that I was stupid, but you also know that there is a proud will hidden deep in my soul, and it does not allow me to do that. Long Chun could only shamelessly pass the blame. After hearing what Long Chun said, the Chaos Dragon Emperor did not dwell on it anymore and continued, I let them exhaust the energy in their bodies. It's actually for their own good. Right now, the imperial scales are beginning to awaken, and its original aura is beginning to be released. It's at this time that they are in an ethereal state, which is the best opportunity to absorb the original aura. As the saying goes, the old does not go, the new does not come. This alternation of the old and the new is tantamount to a rebirth for them. Thank you, Senior. Only then did Long Chun understand the Chaos Dragon Emperor's painstaking efforts. Thinking of how he had misunderstood him just now, he felt extremely ashamed. Chaos Dragon Emperor said, Before, Gu Yong and the others wanted to use the power of the 10,000 dragons' nest to repair their bodies, but I stopped them. Not only did they not recover, but the remaining power in their bodies was also drained by the 10,000 dragons' nest, just to leave them with better things. Now you have two choices. 1. Let them absorb the breath of the Imperial Path reverse scale now and replace the old with the new. 2. Let them continue to be in the empty cup state, and wait for the Imperial Path reverse scale to truly awaken and the Imperial Path space to bloom, and let them absorb the original power that is 100 times purer than now. Of course I'll choose the second one. Long Chun didn't even think about it. However, at that time, everyone will enter the Imperial Path space, and all your enemies will appear. Ask yourself if you can protect them, Chaos Dragon Emperor said in a deep voice. This. At that moment, Long Chun was speechless. Through the battle with Ho Tianwu, Xueringfeng, Xiangtu and others, Long Chun knew that there were too many monsters in this world. The key is that this is only a part of the strength of the Heavenly Demon Alliance. If all the strong men of the Heavenly Demon Alliance gather together, who knows how many such monsters there are. Although Long Chun has the six-cornered evil fly, this weapon is only a disposable consumable. It will be gone after it is used up, and can only be used to win by surprise. But Long Chun has means, which does not mean that others do not have them. The Heavenly Demon Alliance makes Long Chun a little flustered. Once Brahma Tienda, Li Chongying, Long Zhe and others appear, they will inevitably fight. At that time, he will become the target of public criticism. He will have to face many powerful enemies and protect the Dragon Blood Legion. Even if Long Chun is arrogant, he dare not take this risk. The key is, who knows how many strong men of their level are there. Even if there are only these people, who knows how many terrifying trump cards they have. Who can say that they did not get amazing opportunities in the heavenly vein profound realm? Thinking of these, Long Chun felt a great pressure, but no matter what, he wanted the Dragon Blood Core to receive the best baptism. If he let them absorb it now, Long Chun would be very unwilling. Senior, can you point out a clear way? Long Chun took a deep breath and said, Give up condensing the Star Dragon veins for the time being, and cultivate the Dragon Blood Heaven veins instead. Chaos Dragon Emperor seemed to be waiting for Long Chun to say this, and answered without thinking. Ah! At that moment, Long Chun was stunned. Give up condensing the Star Dragon veins and cultivate the Dragon Blood Heaven veins instead? There are two reasons. First, your Star Dragon veins require too much power of heaven and earth, and it takes too long. You don't have that much time. Second, your 8-star combat body still has many flaws and has not reached the limit. If you don't reach the limit, you won't see the opportunity to transform your form. Because your 9-star hegemon body art has already embarked on another path. If you don't transform your form, The power of the stars cannot reach the extreme. Long Chen's heart was shocked. The Chaos Dragon Emperor saw very accurately and far, and his words were very sharp. Since the 5-star battle body, he has been on another path since he began to forcefully change his form. The 8-star battle body is still in its most primitive form, and it has not yet reached its peak state. Long Chen and the 8-star have not yet reached a perfect fit. At this time, he dared not try to change the form of the 8-star, because changing the form is a very dangerous thing, and it may be fatal if it is not done well. He must reach the extreme of the 8-star battle body. As for what the extreme is, Long Chen does not know, let alone explain it clearly. It is a feeling. If it is reached, and if it is not reached, it is not reached. It is indescribable. Long Chen always feels that his 8-star battle body is still lacking something, but Long Chen does not know what it is. Therefore, Long Chen plans to condense the star dragon veins to see if he can make the 8 stars completely perfect. However, the words of the Chaos Dragon Emperor made him a little hesitant, because according to the Chaos Dragon Emperor, there is no time at all. By that time, others have condensed 9 natal dragon veins, and he is still stuck at 6 or 7. Wouldn't he be beaten to a pulp? Don't worry about the star dragon vein. I mean to put it aside for now to solve the urgent problem. Chaos Dragon Emperor seemed to see Long Chen's concerns. Just follow what you said, Senior. I'll practice dragon blood heavenly vein first. As for how to do it, please give me some advice. Long Chen gritted his teeth and decided to give up the power of the stars for now. There was no other way. Now the situation was urgent, so he could only take care of the present. He believed that the Chaos Dragon Emperor would never harm him, but the power of the stars was rapidly soaring, so he was reluctant to give up, even temporarily. I will teach you a set of mental skills. You can start after settling the situation in the 10,000 dragon nest and outside. The Chaos Dragon Emperor said, and then a strange rune appeared in Long Chen's mind. Is this the original 9-li Immortal script? When Long Chen saw the Immortal script, although he didn't recognize it, his intuition told him that this was the original 9-li Immortal script. Don't worry about it for now, settle things. Calm down, and I will teach you how to use and comprehend it, the Chaos Dragon Emperor said. Long Chen nodded, came to the outside of the 10,000 dragon nest, and pressed his big hand on the 10,000 dragon nest. The 10,000 dragon nest trembled violently, and endless runes flowed, forming billions of chains. At that moment, the 10,000 dragon nest switched to the strongest defense state. In this way, even if someone attacked the 10,000 dragon nest, they would not be able to disturb the people inside. Brother Long. Ever since he left, a man had been a little restless. Even if Tang Wanner kept teasing him, he was still listless. Now that he saw Long Chen coming out, he was overjoyed. Ah man, you just went through a big battle. Have a good rest and sleep for a while. Seeing the tiredness in Ah Man's eyes, Long Chen said, Ah Man is not sleepy. I'm afraid that if I wake up, I will never find Brother Long again. Ah Man shook his head hurriedly. He had seen Long Chen in his dreams countless times, but once he woke up, Ah Man would be very sad. Seeing a man like this, Long Chen felt a pain in his heart. This child was still as innocent as ever. He still thought he was in a dream. Ah man, you have to sleep for a while. Otherwise the bad guys will come and Brother Long can't beat them. What if you don't have enough physical strength? Be obedient and sleep for a while. We will watch over you. We will wake you up if there is danger. Long Chen patted Ah Man on the shoulder and said. At the same time, Long Chen's voice became low and slow. While talking, Ah Man felt even more sleepy. Long Chen patted him a few times and he fell asleep. After Ah Man fell asleep, Long Chen arranged 4 hidden dragon warriors to look after him. Long Chen knew Ah Man very well. His strength was amazing, but his consumption was also extremely terrifying. Therefore, he had to sleep frequently to reduce consumption. Otherwise, with his rations, he could only last for 2 days. After 2 days, Ah Man would be hungry again. If he encountered a big battle, Ah Man would suffer a great loss. After Ah Man fell asleep, Long Chen summoned all the strong men of Fengshan Hage. At this time, the strong men of Fengshen respected Long Chun as a god. Any of Ho Tianwu, Shuering Feng, and Xiang Tu were peerless monsters, so strong that everyone felt as small as ants in front of them. Such a terrifying existence was still defeated by Long Chun one by one in a round-robin manner. Although a man was the last to save the situation, it did not affect Long Chun's invincible image in their hearts at all. I will remember the kindness of all of you brothers who risked your lives to protect me. Long Chun. After that, Long Chun said to Tang Wanner, now that the imperial scales have begun to revive and the power of destiny is surging, it is the best time for everyone to improve. OM. Long Chun waved his hand, and the giant tree opened up the sky. The 7 treasures glazed tree appeared, and the glazed divine light lit up the world. As soon as the 7 treasures glazed tree appeared, 3,000 stars flowed in the void and reflected on the 7 treasures glazed tree. When Tang Wanner saw these runes, she was shocked. Her jade hands covered her cherry lips, and her eyes were full of disbelief. Under Tang Wanner's leadership, the hidden dragon warriors saw the original 9 Li Immortal texts. Unfortunately, due to time constraints, they had no time to comprehend them. The 9 Li Immortal texts were short-lived, which made them feel endless regret. At that time, only a small number of people in the Hidden Dragon Corps, such as Xiao Yu, seized the opportunity and comprehended a few runes. It was these runes that changed their fate, allowing them to gain luck and condense their own dragon veins. Now seeing so many original 9 Li Immortal texts, their eyes were full of excitement. Long Chun asked Tang Wanner to arrange for everyone to take turns to comprehend, and leave some to patrol. If there were any foreign invaders, they would be killed without mercy. Long Chun himself did not have time to comprehend these 3,000 divine runes, so he simply took them out for everyone to comprehend. As for these runes from the 9 Li Divine Monument, how much everyone could comprehend depended on their luck. After arranging everyone, Long Chun came to the space channel alone. The power of destiny here contained a vast dragon power, forming a torrent. Only those with dragon blood could withstand such an impact. The torrent rushed to the 10,000 Dragons' Nest, and a buffer zone was formed behind the 10,000 Dragons' Nest. This was the best place for everyone to practice. Under the reflection of the 3,000 stars, the 7 treasures glazed tree was shining with divine light. The streams of light swept through everyone's souls. The holy energy was clearing their negative emotions and calming their minds quickly. The 7 treasures glazed tree was a heaven-defying treasure. It could help people see their true nature and gain enlightenment. With its assistance, everyone's chances of success would be greatly increased. Tang Wanner immediately organized everyone to take turns to gain enlightenment. She glanced at Long Chun, who had already entered the space channel, and saw that he had begun to cross his legs and enter into meditation, and also began to comprehend the 9 Li Divine Talisman. In the space channel, the waves were sparkling, and the sacred breath was whistling. The imperial breath was becoming more and more vast. Long Chun followed the instructions of the Chaos Dragon Emperor and let his heart calm down completely. Originally, Long Chun wanted to recover his strength first, but the Chaos Dragon Emperor told him that there was no need and he could just start directly. Let go of the purple blood power. Don't let it restrain the dragon blood power. After entering into meditation for a while, the voice of the Chaos Dragon Emperor came. Boom! Before, Long Chun had been using the purple blood power to control the dragon blood, so that it would not be out of control and run around in his body. When Long Chun withdrew the purple blood power, the dragon blood power suddenly became like a wild horse running wild, surging wildly in Long Chun's body. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Blood-colored scales appeared around Long Chun's body, and the dragon blood battle body automatically erupted. At this time, the dragon blood battle body was extremely violent and could not be controlled by Long Chun at all. It seemed to want to destroy Long Chun's body and break free from the restraints to escape. How could this happen? Is it going to betray me? When Long Chun felt that the dragon blood power wanted to break free from his restraints, he was shocked and angry. He could never have imagined that the dragon blood power he had controlled for many years would leave him one day, as if it was going to abandon him violently and ruthlessly. You are not a dragon. It succumbed to you because it was suppressed by you and because it was oppressed by my will. Now that it has felt the call of the imperial scale, it is normal for it to leave you. There is nothing to be surprised about. Chaos Dragon Emperor said. Okay, the next step is the important part. You must listen carefully and concentrate on the rune I passed to you. Seeing that Chaos Dragon Emperor said seriously, Long Chun quickly gathered his mind and looked at the rune that Chaos Dragon Emperor passed to him in the depths of his soul. This rune looks like a mountain. It is composed of more than a dozen runes. The runes flow, just like dragon-shaped creatures flowing. On this rune, Long Chun felt the hot breath. Feel it with your heart and see if you can call out its name. Chaos Dragon Emperor said. Melting. Long Chun shouted without even thinking. As Long Chun said the word melting, the rune trembled violently, as if it was awakened from a deep sleep. Then the rune exploded and turned into millions of tiny runes, which spread from Long Chen's soul space into his limbs and bones. Swish! When the runes flowed into Long Chen's blood, the purple blood and the seven-color supreme blood trembled slightly, without much reaction. But the dragon blood exploded all of a sudden. The dragon blood instantly became hot, like lava, rolling in Long Chen's meridians. The terrifying impact force made Long Chen's forehead veins bulge with pain. Fortunately, Long Chen's ability to endure pain was very strong. He kept guarding the spirit platform, keeping his mind highly concentrated, and observing the every move of billions of runes. These runes attached to the dragon blood and burned madly. The dragon blood fled desperately, but the rune was like a maggot attached to the bone. Once attached, it could never be shaken off. Sizzle, sizzle. The dragon blood was burning, and green smoke even appeared in the meridians, as if Long Chen's meridians were burned black. There are impurities in the dragon blood? Long Chen was shocked. The powder attached to the meridians was the impurities of the dragon blood. Even on the black powder, Long Chen felt anger and unwillingness. Is this the self-awareness of the dragon blood? Long Chen's heart was pounding. After he merged with the dragon blood, he always thought that the dragon blood had already merged with him and they were indistinguishable. Now it seems that although the dragon blood is for him to drive, it has always retained its self-awareness. It seems that it is waiting for an opportunity to escape from Long Chen's control. Thinking of this, Long Chen couldn't help but break out in a cold sweat. Fortunately, he discovered it early. If the dragon blood suddenly rebelled when he was fighting a strong enemy, he would be finished. After all, it was not given by my parents. It is normal to have selfish thoughts. Long Chen couldn't help but sigh in his heart. His purple blood came from his mother, and his seven-colored supreme blood came from his father. These two kinds of blood power have been silently protecting him. Although the seven-colored supreme blood had been stripped away, the seven-colored supreme blood after returning would never betray him. Thinking of this, Long Chen missed his father and mother more and more. Perhaps this was the most selfless love in the world. Sizzle, sizzle. The divine rune was still burning, madly chasing the remaining will in the dragon blood, and the power of flames burned it to ashes. In the crazy burning, the dragon blood became less and less, and the blood was almost burned dry. In the end, what was left were pure blood runes. Blood fusion technique. This is the only way for the Emperor Dragon Clan to advance to the human emperor. After the blood fusion is completed, the impurities in the blood are removed, and the evil thoughts contaminated by killing are annihilated. The Emperor Dragon Clan is different from the human race. We are protected by divine power. Evil thoughts cannot erode the soul, but they will attach to the blood. The dragon blood in your body was not originally yours, so it is more likely to attract evil thoughts. However, with the blessing of the blood fusion technique, your dragon blood is already in the purest state. Chaos Dragon Emperor said. Is pure, but it is already dying, just one breath away. Long Chun looked at the dragon blood rune that was sluggish and almost half dead, and couldn't help but smile bitterly. There is no way. This is the price of scraping the bone to cure the poison, but after the blood fusion it will completely merge with you, indistinguishable from each other. The heart is connected to the thought, The thought is connected to the blood, and it will never conflict with your 7-color supreme blood again, and it will not need purple blood to reconcile. Well, the dragon blood is seriously injured. It's time to replenish it and open your divine ring, Chaos Dragon Emperor said. OM. When Long Chun stretched out the 8-color divine ring, endless power rushed into Long Chen's blood. The divine ring stretched out the heaven and earth, like a huge mouth, madly devouring the energy flowing in the channel. OM. The almost dried-up blood in Long Chen's body was nourished in an instant. The dragon blood runes seemed to throw a thirsty person into a stream, sucking energy desperately. Don't swallow it deliberately. It will introduce impurities and will also be contaminated by the will of the Emperor's reverse scale. Let the origin blood rune absorb it by itself. It will instinctively choose what it likes most. It has merged with your soul, so you don't have to worry about it giving birth to its own will, Chaos Dragon Emperor said. Originally, Long Chun was about to use the power of the divine ring to absorb more power for the power of the blood. But when he heard the words of the Chaos Dragon Emperor, he immediately stopped. What Long Chun has to do now is to open a skylight for them. Let them bring in the power they need, and let those things that are not needed be discharged along the divine ring. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The dragon blood talismans in Long Chen's body trembled. These dragon blood talismans were the product of the fusion of dragon blood and Jilly talismans. A small talisman, like a bottomless pit, greedily devoured the energy of heaven and earth. The dry dragon blood gradually became full, and this full dragon blood was completely renewed compared to before. Feeling the torrent of dragon blood flowing in the body, the power of dragon blood penetrated the limbs and bones. Wherever the mind passed, the dragon blood and the soul were in harmony. As soon as the mind moved, the dragon power was born. That wonderful feeling was something Long Chen had never experienced before. The dragon blood at this time was the power that Long Chen could truly control. As the power of dragon blood continued to fill up, Long Chun felt full of power. Boom! Suddenly, Long Chen's body shook violently, and the vast dragon blood power was agitated. The dragon blood power in Long Chen's body was finally saturated. Swish! Long Chun stretched out his big hand. A finger crossed the void. The finger wind cut the void, and made a harsh sonic boom. At that moment, Long Chen's face was full of ecstasy. How? The voice of the Chaos Dragon Emperor came. Although it pretended to be calm, its voice was full of pride that could not be concealed. What a terrifying power! My power at this moment has actually surpassed the power when I summoned the dragon blood battle body before. Long Chun said excitedly. Long Chen's voice was trembling with excitement. He did not expect that the power of the dragon blood after blood fusion would be so strong. If the red dragon battle body is summoned, will the power exceed the 9-star battle body? At that moment, Long Chen was stunned. As if seeing through Long Chen's thoughts, the Chaos Dragon Emperor said, "From the current point of view, at the same level, the dragon blood battle body must be stronger than the 9-star battle body. Unless one day you can summon the 8-star battle body with a new form after the 8-star great perfection, otherwise, the 9-star hegemon body art will have no meaning to you. The 9-star lord is powerful, but unfortunately, his power cannot continue." What do you mean? Long Chun was stunned. Every once in a while, your human race will have some peerless geniuses who shine through the ages and push the human race's reputation to a new height. The Lord of 9 Stars is the strongest being in your human race, and also the strongest being among all races. He has pushed the human race to an unprecedented height. Unfortunately, the human race has a fatal flaw, and that is inheritance. Relying solely on the inheritance of words, magic, and will can easily cause a generational gap. This is even more true for the Lord of 9 Stars. His most powerful disciple cannot inherit even 1/10 of his legacy. His all-powerful abilities are useless if they cannot be passed on. He pushed humanity to unprecedented heights, but the moment he fell, humanity fell from unprecedented heights and almost became extinct. The voice of the Chaos Dragon Emperor became deep and distant, as if it was trapped in distant memories. Continued, "The human race has never recovered since then, and everything seems like a nightmare. Although the human race, after being beaten back to its original form, has not fallen to the point of becoming slaves, the people's hearts have collapsed, and there are many traitors. Forget it, let's not talk about these useless things. To be honest, I really hope that you can inherit the magical powers of my dragon race, but I can't deprive you of the right to choose. Fortunately, the dragon blood battle body and the star battle body do not conflict with each other. You can learn whichever you think is stronger. The important thing is that you have to survive first." Long Chen's heart was shocked. It was the first time that he heard Chaos Dragon Emperor talk about the Lord of Nine Stars in such detail. From its tone, it could be heard that it admired the Lord of Nine Stars very much, but it seemed that it did not agree with some aspects of the Lord of Nine Stars. How smart was Long Chen? Although Chaos Dragon Emperor did not say it clearly, how could he not hear the hidden meaning? Chaos Dragon Emperor was very optimistic about him and wanted him to inherit his mantle. Even if he was a human, Chaos Dragon Emperor would still teach him everything he knew. Although the Lord of Nine Stars was very strong, he was unable to pass on his skills when he was alive. This shows that the Lord of Nine Stars was a genius, and his skills were not something that everyone could practice. When he was alive, he was unable to find a successor. Now the Lord of Nine Stars has fallen for countless years. It is wishful thinking to want to continue his path. Moreover, Long Chen has already embarked on another path. Without the guidance of a master and no experience to learn from, he has to rely on himself to explore and walk out another Nine Stars road. Although the Chaos Dragon Emperor did not say anything, it is obvious that in his eyes, this road is basically a dead end. But it does not want to attack Long Chen, and it does not want to force Long Chen to become its disciple for its own selfishness. Its pride does not allow it to do so. What it said today is equivalent to reminding Long Chen, and at the same time telling him that sometimes you need to make choices in life. Long Chen pondered for a long time, and couldn't help but smile bitterly. How can I not know the kindness of the senior? However, whether it is you or the Lord of Nine Stars, you have saved my life. Back in the Fengming Empire, if it were not for the 9-star hegemon body art, Long Chen would have died tragically under the conspiracy. It was the 9-star hegemon body art that gave me the opportunity to change my fate. Can be said that my life was given by the Lord of 9 Stars. You also know that I, Long Chen, don't like to owe favors to others. I should repay a drop of kindness with a spring, let alone such a great favor? Whether the 9-star road can be traversed or not, and no matter what price I will pay in the future, I will never regret it. Long Chen paused for a moment, gritted his teeth and said, "You also know that I am a very greedy person. I want the inheritance of the 9 stars, the inheritance of my predecessors, and everything that can make me stronger. Aren't you afraid of biting off more than you can chew?" Hearing what Long Chen said, Chaos Dragon Emperor said unhappily, "Don't worry, I have good teeth and a good appetite," Long Chen said with a chuckle. Chaos Dragon Emperor sighed and said, "Forget it. Since that's the case, I won't force you. I will teach you the secret method of the Emperor Dragon Clan and start to condense the Destiny Dragon Vein. The human race's heavenly dragon energy needs to gather the luck of heaven and earth, the luck of the sect, the luck of the family, the luck of the individual, etc., and merge them under the impetus of the power of destiny. But the dragon race is different, especially my Emperor Dragon race. We are the symbol of luck. The dragon veins and dragon energy were originally named after our race." The solemn and deep voice of the Chaos Dragon Emperor sounded in Long Chen's mind. There are 3 talents in the world: heaven, man, and earth. There are inherent ways of heaven veins, earth veins, and human veins. However, no matter which one, it is presented in the form of a dragon. My Emperor Dragon Clan is not only the Emperor leader of the Dragon Clan, but also one of the controllers of the luck of the 9 heavens. Although my Emperor Dragon Clan has declined, unless the 9 heavens are destroyed, all the luck between heaven and earth must be presented in the form of dragon veins. But there is one thing I want to remind you. In the process of condensing the dragon veins, no matter what you discover or what you feel, don't say it out. Don't mention a word to anyone, otherwise, you will hurt others and yourself. At the end, the voice of the Chaos Dragon Emperor became extremely serious, even harsh. Disciple understands. Long Chun replied. However, after Long Chun finished answering, both Long Chun and Chaos Dragon Emperor were silent for a moment. Long Chen's words, disciple understands, instantly hit the weakest part of Chaos Dragon Emperor's heart. Chaos Dragon Emperor led an era and was feared by the heavens, but for some reason, he did not have a disciple or successor. Now Long Chen's disciple hit its heart like a heavy hammer. It has been with Long Chun for so many years and knows Long Chen's character deeply. Long Chun is a proud and arrogant guy. Although he seems to be laughing and not serious on the surface, the arrogance in his bones is even stronger than when it was young. Because Long Chun is a descendant of the 9 stars, it often feels a little indignant and feels that Long Chen's character is tailor-made for it. It can't bring itself to snatch other people's disciples, and it was rejected by Long Chun just now. In fact, it feels a little uncomfortable. Now, Long Chen's word disciple made it feel a little overjoyed, but it didn't dare to speak, for fear that there was something wrong with its tone and Long Chun would hear it. What a proud existence the Chaos Dragon Emperor is, being treated as a master by others. He was so excited. Wouldn't it be embarrassing? And Long Chun was also stunned. He just said this casually without thinking at all. In fact, Long Chun had long regarded the Chaos Dragon Emperor as his master. Although they were not in name, they were in reality. However, he didn't want to admit it. He knew that the Chaos Dragon Emperor should be in an extremely embarrassing situation. After all, Chen Qinding had revealed some information to Long Chun. The Chaos Dragon Emperor was arrogant. In this case, if it accepted Long Chun as a disciple, if Long Chun mistakenly thought that it had a purpose, it would be a blasphemy to the relationship between the two. The Chaos Dragon Emperor had already regarded Long Chun as a disciple, and Long Chun also regarded the Chaos Dragon Emperor as a master, but due to various embarrassing reasons, this layer of window paper was not convenient to break. After a long while, the Chaos Dragon Emperor said coldly, "Adjust the power of the bloodline and return it to the center of the eyebrows." Hearing the Chaos Dragon Emperor's pretended indifference, Long Chen's mouth curled up. Isn't this a case of trying to cover up one's own faults? What the hell are you laughing at? Be serious. As soon as Long Chun finished laughing, the Chaos Dragon Emperor's scolding came to his mind. Long Chun shrank his neck in fear and quickly gathered his mind. According to the method taught by the Chaos Dragon Emperor, he moved the power of the bloodline to the center of the eyebrows. OM. A dragon-shaped rune actually flew out along Long Chen's brow. At first, it was only 3 inches long, but after leaving Long Chen's body, it swelled up in the wind and instantly grew to 3 feet long. It madly absorbed the energy between heaven and earth and grew at a speed visible to the naked eye. 10 feet, 100 feet, 1,000 feet, 100 miles, 1,000 miles. In less than half an incense stick of time, this dragon vein actually surged to a huge length of 10,000 miles. At that moment, Long Chun was stunned. Looking at the dragon blood vein in front of him and feeling its vast fluctuations like the sea, Long Chun was stunned. This dragon blood vein was actually more powerful than a star dragon vein. The blood-red dragon was galloping behind Long Chun, and endless blood power was rolling in Long Chen's body. At this time, Long Chun even hoped to have a powerful opponent for him to practice with. This dragon blood vein is stronger than the star dragon vein? Long Chun looked at the dragon blood sky vein and couldn't help but said excitedly, "The power of the stars comes from outside the sky and does not belong to the 3 elements of heaven, earth, and man. Although the power of the stars is theoretically vast and endless, it takes power to activate them. When you summon the star battle body and communicate with the stars outside the sky, you have already consumed some of the power. To put it bluntly, the power has already begun to be consumed before the battle begins, so it cannot last long. But the power of dragon blood is different. It is the power of the 9 heavens and the symbol of the destiny of the 9 heavens. When it gathers into the destiny dragon vein, all the ways of heaven and earth must obey the call of the dragon vein energy, and the power is powerful and lasting. Chaos Dragon Emperor explained. But why do I feel? Long Chun said puzzledly. Shut up, you idiot. Have you forgotten what I just told you? The Chaos Dragon Emperor cursed. Long Chen's heart shuddered, because just now, his scalp suddenly went numb and his whole body went cold, as if he was stared at by something terrifying. However, the moment he closed his mouth, the terrifying feeling disappeared again, as if nothing had happened. Disciple knows I was wrong. Long Chun apologized hurriedly, but he also secretly hated himself. He had a big head, but why didn't he learn from it? The Chaos Dragon Emperor had reminded him again and again, but he still forgot. Seeing Long Chun apologize, the Chaos Dragon Emperor was too embarrassed to scold Long Chun anymore. He said unhappily, "Don't be like a dog with a stomach that can't hold 2 tails of sesame oil. Some secrets must be kept in the stomach. If you tell them out before you reach that level, it will only kill you." Long Chun nodded hurriedly. After condensing this dragon blood heavenly vein, he felt something strange and immediately wanted to verify it with the Chaos Dragon Emperor. As a result, he forgot the Chaos Dragon Emperor's previous instructions. Although Long Chun had countless doubts, as the Chaos Dragon Emperor said, he could only hold them in his stomach. Long Chun couldn't help but look at the blue sky above his head. There seemed to be a flash of enlightenment in his eyes, but in the end he said nothing. Follow the same method and condense the second dragon blood heavenly vein, the Chaos Dragon Emperor shouted. Long Chun did not dare to neglect it and hurriedly continued to condense the second dragon blood heavenly vein according to the previous method. The power of dragon blood absorbed the power of destiny and the power of luck, and grew rapidly under the stimulation of the Emperor's reverse scale. After only 2 days, Long Chun condensed 5 dragon blood heavenly veins. This speed made Long Chun almost crazy. This was simply cheating. Ha! Suddenly Long Chun looked in front of the 7 treasures glazed tree, and his figure flashed and disappeared in an instant. The 7 treasures glazed tree held up the sky, and on its branches and leaves, there were stars, runes were shining, and divine light fell, sprinkling on everyone under the 7 treasures glazed tree. Tang Wanner led the hidden dragon warriors and sat cross-legged under the tree trunk. Green runes flowed around her body, and she was comprehending the immortal text. Tang Wanner was in a state of meditation with no distractions. Her pretty face was peaceful, but there were 7 green dragon veins slowly flowing around her body. Tang Wanner herself didn't know that when she was concentrating on comprehending the original 9 immortal text, her natal dragon vein was automatically generated. The reason why Tang Wanner grew so fast was actually arranged by Feng Xinyue. Under Feng Xinyue's guidance, Tang Wanner obtained the lost inheritance of the wind god lineage. The lost inheritance was a key, and this key was used to open a treasure house. And this treasure house was the savings that Feng Xinyue had passed on to her since Tang Wanner became a disciple. After finding the inheritance, Tang Wanner's treasure house door was opened a crack. Now, as she comprehends more and more, the crack is getting bigger and bigger, and her destiny dragon vein is condensing faster and faster. Tang Wanner made seals with her jade hands, and the divine rune was flowing above her head. The divine light was reflected on her face, just like a goddess who was not in the world, making people admire her but dare not approach. Beside Tang Wanner, Xiaoye and others were also practicing at ease. What was surprising was that Xiaoye had condensed 4 destiny dragon veins at this time, and the others had condensed 3. Looking at the entire hidden dragon core, everyone had condensed their own destiny dragon veins, but their own destiny dragon veins were still growing and had not yet taken shape. Among the 30 million Fengshen Hege's geniuses, tens of thousands of people have condensed their destiny dragon veins, and millions of people have 9 dragon veins intertwined behind them. It seems that they have already realized the opportunity to condense the destiny dragon vein, but whether they can succeed depends on that key step. Hundreds of Fengshen Hege disciples patrolled the area, scanning back and forth with their spiritual senses, not daring to relax for a moment. Everyone was practicing, but a man was sleeping very soundly under the 7 treasures glazed tree. Sometimes when he turned over, he would swallow his saliva constantly. I don't know if he was eating something delicious in his dream. Buzz! However, at this moment, a sudden change occurred. A sharp sword broke the tranquility around. The sharp sword energy passed through the void and shot straight to Tang Wanner's eyebrows. Buzz! However, as soon as the sword energy was excited, a big hand emerged, and above the big hand, 5 heavenly veins of dragon energy flowed. Pop! The sharp sword energy made a light sound, and the vast divine power disappeared without a trace in an instant. The attack came suddenly, but disappeared quickly. Even the fluctuations caused by this attack were destroyed by the big hand. Except for those patrollers, no one was alarmed. Fools of the Life Hunter clan. Long Chun appeared, with a sneer on his lips. The moment this group of people approached, Long Chun had already sensed it. Buzz! Long Chun suddenly opened his hands and grabbed in midair. Suddenly, the void in front of him collapsed, and then figures emerged one by one. The patrollers were shocked. Hundreds of strong men approached them, but they didn't notice it at all. These hundreds of strong men, wearing tight black clothes and holding thin-bladed long swords, were all super strong men who had condensed the dragon energy of their own life veins. One of them even condensed 4 life veins. Swish! Long Chun grabbed in midair, and hundreds of strong men were sucked into the vortex at the same time. The group of people were shocked and fled out one after another. One of them slashed out with a sword energy, tearing a hole in the void. He dived into the hole and disappeared instantly. That man was the strongest and most advanced person in the group. Seeing that the situation was not good, he ran away as soon as possible. Puff, puff, puff. However, the others were not so lucky. A dragon claw emerged in the collapse of the void, and everyone was crushed into powder by the dragon claw. But one person escaped. Long Chun snorted coldly and opened his big hand. He was about to make a move, but in the end he did not make a move and let the man escape. Although the man was powerful, if Long Chun wanted to kill him, he could not escape from Long Chun's palm. But Long Chun did not make a move in the end, because if he wanted to kill him, he had to activate the power of the dragon blood heavenly vein, and the powerful force would wake everyone up. Everyone was in a state of meditation. If they woke up, they would need to spend a lot of time to regain their meditation. It was not worth it to kill a 4 veins heavenly saint. And judging from the strength of the man, he should be a small fish of the Life Hunter clan, not the real leader, so there was no point in killing him. At this time, the disciples of Fengshen Hage who were responsible for everyone's safety were all red-faced. They came to Long Chun and said with shame, "Brother Long Chun, we are so useless. Don't blame yourself. This is a group of killers. They are very powerful. They dared to challenge the Purple Blood Clan in the past. It's normal that you can't find them. You don't have to worry. They will definitely not dare to come again. Just patrol with peace of mind." Long Chun comforted everyone. Hearing Long Chun's words, everyone felt much better and began to be on guard. How is it? At this time, the voice of Chaos Dragon Emperor came, with a hint of pride that was difficult to conceal. Strong, too strong. Long Chun took a deep breath and said excitedly. Long Chun didn't expect that after condensing the dragon blood heavenly vein, the power of dragon blood could be so strong. Wherever the mind goes, the dragon blood will reach. Killing these killers is just like killing ants. If this summons the dragon blood battle body, how strong will it be? Long Chun simply dared not imagine it. This is just the beginning, just a small test. Continue to condense the dragon blood heavenly vein. I will teach you how to condense the runes of magical power. When the time comes, you will not need to make seals to use the dragon clan's magical power. You can use it at will. Chaos Dragon Emperor said. Long Chun was very excited. The dragon clan's magical power was extremely terrifying. If he did not need to rely on seals to accumulate power, he could save a lot of time. When masters fight, they fight for that one chance. Long Chen is good at close combat. If he can use the Dragon Clan's magical power at will, wouldn't he be able to ascend to heaven? Long Chen returned to the space channel, let his blood quickly calm down, opened the divine ring, and entered the state of cultivation again. Buzz! Soon, the prototype of Long Chen's sixth dragon blood heavenly vein appeared. At the moment when the prototype of the heavenly vein appeared, the prototype of a rune appeared in Long Chen's mind. Without the Chaos Dragon Emperor speaking, Long Chen hurriedly made seals with both hands, and a blood-colored rune appeared at his fingertips. The rune was exactly the same as the rune in his mind. The human race's comprehension is really abnormal. Chaos Dragon Emperor was originally a little distressed. The dragon runes are inherited by the power of blood. It is extremely difficult to express them in words. Even if they are expressed correctly, the other party may not understand what it wants to express. However, what it didn't expect was that Long Chen only saw the rune and understood its meaning, and directly condensed the rune. Could it be because of the Jilly divine steel? Chaos Dragon Emperor's heart moved, as if he had found the key. If this is true, it would be incredible. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Blood runes rose from Long Chen's fingertips, turned into flames, and poured into the rapidly growing dragon blood veins. This was the method that Chaos Dragon Emperor taught Long Chen, and it was also the result of his wild imagination. Because Long Chen was not a dragon, his body was too small, and he could not compare with the dragon's bodies that were tens of thousands of miles or even millions of miles long. The capacity of dragon blood in Long Chen's body was limited. Even if Long Chen's body was burst, it could not be imprinted with the blood runes of the dragons. The blood magic of the dragons was all activated by blood runes. Simple magic often required hundreds of runes to be activated at the same time. If it was a high-level magic, tens of thousands of blood runes would need to be mobilized at the same time, and that kind of peerless magic required even more, so many that even Chaos Dragon Emperor himself could not calculate it. Long Chen's body was not feasible, so he could only use his dragon veins to bless it and imprint the dragon blood runes on the dragon veins, so that he could master the dragon magic. However, this requires an extremely harsh condition, that is, Long Chen needs to be able to comprehend the nature of these runes from the heart. This difficulty is against the sky, and even the Chaos Dragon Emperor is ready to teach for a long time, hoping that Long Chen can master the most basic runes first and then master the simplest magical power of the Dragon Clan. However, Long Chen's amazing understanding surprised him. The speed of the dragon blood branding runes is even much faster than that of the pure-blooded Emperor Dragon Clan. Boom, boom. The dragon blood veins are constantly growing, and the runes are constantly branding. Those runes are attached to the dragon veins like scales. As the runes continue to increase, the dragon veins actually begin to roar and explode. Stupid. Slow down. The condensation speed is too fast. The dragon veins can't bear it. Seeing that the dragon blood veins have no time to digest, Long Chen is still branding on it, and the Chaos Dragon Emperor can't help but scold. How can you say I'm stupid? I'm obviously following your rhythm. You give me a rune, and I brand a rune, Long Chen said with a look of grievance. You have learned to talk back, haven't you? Chaos Dragon Emperor said angrily. Disciple dare not. Long Chen was speechless. What could he say? He could only admit defeat, but he was still unwilling to accept it in his heart. Chaos Dragon Emperor seemed to be a little embarrassed. This matter really couldn't be blamed entirely on Long Chen. He threw out a lot of runes, thinking that if Long Chen encountered some runes that he couldn't understand, he would explain them to Long Chen. In this way, when Long Chen encountered a problem, the branding speed would decrease. However, he didn't expect that Long Chen's comprehension ability was amazing, so the branding speed was too fast, and the Tianmai Dragon Chi couldn't bear it. The Chaos Dragon Emperor's tone softened slightly and said, although the dragon energy of the sixth heavenly vein is strong, it cannot withstand so many dragon blood runes. You don't have to worry. The reason why I waited until you condensed the sixth heavenly vein and let you imprint the runes is because the dragon vein strength at this time can withstand the dragon blood runes. The next heavenly vein can withstand more, and so on. It is enough for you to imprint. Moreover, after all the runes are imprinted, they will automatically be classified into different dragon veins. In the future, there will be no difference between strong and weak dragon veins. Long Chen nodded. He was indeed a little anxious before. Each of these dragon blood runes is a treasure. Long Chen suffered a great loss in this battle with Ho Tianwu, Shuering Feng, Xiang Tu and others, and he was holding back a rage in his heart. Now that he has the opportunity to become stronger quickly, how can he be calm? Of course, he desperately absorbs it. Every time a rune is imprinted, it means that his strength will be stronger. 1 point. Boom! Soon, the sixth dragon blood vein was condensed. However, when the 6 veins were wandering behind Long Chen, the original 5 veins began to entangle the 6th one. Just as the Chaos Dragon Emperor said, the dragon blood runes on the other 6 veins gradually transferred to the other veins. After sharing the dragon blood runes, the 6th vein suddenly felt much more relaxed, while the other 5 veins became a little violent, as if they were still adapting to those dragon blood runes. OM! The 6th dragon vein was condensed, and Long Chen directly began to condense the 7th one. The runes given to Long Chen by the Chaos Dragon Emperor seemed endless. Long Chen kept condensing according to the instructions of the Chaos Dragon Emperor. Time was passing quickly, and Long Chen kept condensing runes. The condensed runes would be accompanied by blood power, and when the dragon vein was completed, the blood power would automatically return to the body, forming a cycle. But such a boring process lasted for a whole month. Even with Long Chen's perseverance, he felt like he was going crazy. During this month, Long Chen had no idea how many bloodline runes he had condensed. Although the power of dragon blood was constantly circulating, the consumption of soul power was a bit too much for Long Chen. However, when 9 dragon blood veins appeared behind Long Chen, and he felt the endless power of dragon blood surging in his body, at that moment, Long Chen felt that everything was worth it. Finally, it's perfect, ha ha ha. Long Chen was very excited. Now he was full of strength and couldn't wait to find a master to fight him. Perfect? Overthinking. Chaos Dragon Emperor said lightly. What do you mean? Long Chen was stunned. If you inherited only the magical powers of the ordinary Emperor Dragon clan, it would indeed be perfect at this time. But what you inherited is my inheritance. Just like your 9-star hegemon body art, 9 is not the number of perfection. Chaos Dragon Emperor said. Could it be that there are 13 dragon blood heavenly veins? Long Chen was surprised. But I feel that the power of the dragon veins is saturated, and it is impossible to condense new dragon veins? The reason why you can condense the dragon blood heavenly veins so quickly is because of the Imperial Way reverse scale. To put it bluntly, all these opportunities are given to you by the Imperial Way reverse scale. Remember, it is given to you by it, and the next ones need to be snatched by yourself. Later, the voice of the Chaos Dragon Emperor became gloomy and solemn. Long Chen looked into the depths of the passage, where waves came. Long Chen seemed to hear a strong heartbeat, and at the same time felt a suffocating and terrifying pressure. At that moment, he understood that when he chose to use the power of the Imperial Way reverse scale to condense the dragon veins, everything was doomed. He wanted to get the Imperial Way reverse scale. Only by getting the Imperial Way reverse scale could his dragon blood heavenly veins be truly complete. And the Imperial Way reverse scale also wanted to get him, perhaps because he had the original power of the Chaos Dragon Emperor on him, which it urgently needed. Now Long Chen has no way out. Only one of the Imperial Way reverse scale and him can survive in this world. Did you sense it? Chaos Dragon Emperor asked. Yes. It is an extremely cold, evil, and brutal will. Long Chen nodded. In fact, it is my inner demon. Chaos Dragon Emperor's voice became deeper. What? Inner demon? When Long Chen heard this, he almost jumped up. This was beyond Long Chen's imagination. However, after listening to the explanation of the Chaos Dragon Emperor, Long Chen's cognition was completely overturned. It turned out that not only the human race had inner demons, but the dragon race also had them. Moreover, the more powerful the sacred power of the dragon race, the stronger the inner demon. Therefore, each of the sacred dragon races has its own way to restrain the inner demon. The most common way is to baptize the dragon race with the sacred dragon pool and totem blessing when the dragon race is born, so as to seal the inner demon in its embryonic stage. However, this method has a disadvantage, that is, sealing the inner demon will affect the growth of the original body, and even various talents will be more or less sealed, affecting future growth. The dragon race later invented various magical powers to limit the inner demon, so as not to let the inner demon become strong and affect the original body, thus becoming a demon. Later, the dragon race discovered that using the power of heavenly tribulation to limit the inner demon is the best way, and it also causes the least damage to the body. Later, the dragon clan stopped sealing the inner demon and began to work hard on the heavenly tribulation. Using the power of the heavenly tribulation to suppress the weak inner demon became the best means for the dragon clan. The Chaos Dragon Emperor was very proud. He never used the power of the heavenly tribulation to restrict the inner demon and let it grow. However, the inner demon was always suppressed by the Chaos Dragon Emperor and could not affect it. The Chaos Dragon Emperor regarded the inner demon as his own whetstone. When there was no strong opponent, he would fight the inner demon to make himself stronger. But when he entered immortality, he found that something was wrong. His inner demon could not compete with him for a long time and had a tendency to self-destruct. He no longer improved himself, nor did he pursue defeating the Chaos Dragon Emperor, but always thought about dying with him. At this time, the Chaos Dragon Emperor found that it was not good. Finally, when he crossed the Imperial Tribulation, he forced the inner demon into the reverse scale and sealed it. Later, an unpredictable change occurred. The Imperial reverse scale that sealed the Chaos Dragon Emperor's inner demon broke away from the control of the Chaos Dragon Emperor and flowed into the Tianmai Shenjing. In the heavenly vain profound realm, the heart demon was not willing to be trapped. It was always thinking about breaking through the blockade of the scales and regaining freedom. From the Chaos Dragon Emperor, it was learned that during the countless years that the heart demon was trapped, it actually found a way to escape. Whenever it appeared in the world, it would use the power of heaven and earth to release the power in the dragon scales. This power was not its own power, but the power of the seal. According to the Chaos Dragon Emperor, as long as it was released once more, the power of the seal would be reduced to the point where it could be broken. In fact, even if there were no dragon blood warriors deliberately leading it out, it would still appear just a few months earlier or later. The Chaos Dragon Emperor deliberately let the Imperial Path reverse scale appear in advance, in fact, to buy time for Long Chun. According to the historical law of the heavenly vain profound realm, the Imperial Path reverse scale would appear last. At that time, almost all the strong men in the entire heavenly vain profound realm would gather here. By then, others would have perfected their 9 veins, and Long Chun would suffer a great loss in terms of realm. Moreover, facing so many enemies, Long Chun would have no chance to use the power of the Imperial Path reverse scale to practice. To put it bluntly, all of this was within the expectations of the Chaos Dragon Emperor. The Imperial scales of reverse path attracted countless strong men, but the strongest level of monsters was less than 1/3 of the number of people in the entire heavenly vain profound realm. This was the best opportunity for Long Chun. Only then did Long Chun understand that the Chaos Dragon Emperor had worked so hard and done everything for him. This love was higher than the sky and deeper than the earth. Although it did not tell Long Chun some things, Long Chun himself guessed it. It releases the power of the seal to attract the geniuses to fight for it. The power of the Imperial scales of reverse path is a precious treasure for all living beings. The power of dragon blood can help them cleanse their tendons and marrow. The power of dragon soul can stimulate the secondary growth of their soul power, and the will of the Imperial reverse scale is the best means to temper the heart of the strong. Not to mention the sacred aura attached to the Imperial reverse scale and the Imperial law. This is something that can make countless creatures crazy. Even if they comprehend a part of it, it is enough for them to easily advance to the human emperor. Chaos Dragon Emperor said, "Attracting people to fight for it? I'm afraid it's not as simple as weakening the seal, right? Long Chen asked. That's right, when people fight for the imperial reverse scale, there will inevitably be large-scale killing. When killing occurs, evil thoughts mixed with unwilling souls are its great tonic. It uses the imperial reverse scale as bait to cause all living beings to kill. The dirty blood, greedy desires, twisted souls, and brutal will are all what it needs. While weakening the power of the seal, it strengthens itself. This time when the Tianmai Shenjing is opened, it will gain enough power to break the seal. If you want to get the real dragon blood power, you must defeat it. This reverse scale is different from the previous ones. In order to seal it, I almost extracted 1/3 of the blood power. 1/3. Long Chen's heart was pounding. As far as Long Chen knew, when the dragons shed their reverse scales, it was like saying goodbye to the past. It contained about 1/8 of the body's natal blood. But the Chaos Dragon Emperor actually consumed 1/3 of the blood power at that time, which showed that the problem was very serious. It had to give up so much blood to seal the inner demon. The Chaos Dragon Emperor said, "This blood power is concentrated in the seal, but over the years, most of the blood power has been absorbed by it. After absorbing most of it, wouldn't it be easy to break the seal? No, this is a trap I left. The more blood power it absorbs, the more it will be bound by the seal. It only found something wrong after absorbing most of the blood power, and then it stopped absorbing and began to change its strategy, releasing the seal power and attracting all living beings to fight for it." Hearing what the Chaos Dragon Emperor said, Long Chen couldn't help but be secretly shocked. The Chaos Dragon Emperor left so much blood and essence to seal the inner demon. The inner demon was nourished by the blood and essence. Who knows how powerful it is now? As if seeing through Long Chen's thoughts, the Chaos Dragon Emperor said earnestly, "You have always claimed that you are invincible at the same level. It is the inner demon that I shed when I advanced to the Emperor realm. Its realm is at the peak of the heavenly saint. Only if you defeat it, you are qualified to be invincible at the same level. Do you understand?" Long Chen sucked in a breath of cold air. Although he has always been known as invincible in the same level, Long Chen knows that this is limited to the present world. Facing the geniuses of the Chaos era, he is a little weak. Although he has defeated Ho Tianwu, Xiang Tu, Shuering Feng, Long Ziyi and other Chaos era powerhouses, Long Chen knows that he is only a little stronger than them. Just after entering the Tianmai Xian realm, he encountered so many terrifying monsters. Who can guarantee that there will be monsters among monsters? Now, he has to face the Chaos Dragon Emperor's inner demon again. Even though Long Chen is bold, he can't help but feel a tingling sensation on his scalp at this time. "What? Are you scared?" the Chaos Dragon Emperor said lightly. "Scared? Hee hee. I'm afraid that when I defeat it, you won't be able to save your face." Long Chen chuckled. At first, Long Chen was a little nervous, but when he thought about fighting the Chaos Dragon Emperor's inner demon, he began to feel a little excited again. "I have already passed on the dragon blood rune to you. As for the magical power, I cannot teach you," Chaos Dragon Emperor said. "Why?" Long Chen was stunned. "The magical powers of the dragon race are all evolved from these runes. If I teach you, it will only limit you. Magical skills are nothing more than forms. If I teach you, you will easily be trapped by the form, thus narrowing your imagination. You have already learned moves such as Yunlong Xianzhao, Shenlong Weiwei, Longshao Jiutian, and Emperor Bloodseal. You should learn to draw inferences from one instance and know 10 from one instance. The talent of the human race lies in wisdom, and you should give full play to them. The magical powers of the dragon race may not necessarily be suitable for you, so you must integrate the runes of the dragon race and tailor your own magical powers for yourself. My things are mine after all, just like the Lord of 9 Stars. His things are his after all, and others can only imitate them at most. Just like you, Long Chen, you have come all the way from the mortal world and risen like a comet. How many people fear you, worship you, and try to learn from you? But you also know that the real strong are unique and cannot be copied. I've learned your lesson. Long Chen nodded, excitedly saying. The reminder from the Chaos Dragon Emperor made Long Chen feel as if the clouds had been cleared and the horizon had suddenly become clear. The Chaos Dragon Emperor was actually hinting to Long Chun that he had been trapped in the form of the 9-star hegemon body art for too long, and his thinking had become rigid, and he could not get the spirit. The form mentioned by the Chaos Dragon Emperor was a pun, which was equivalent to telling Long Chun not to dwell too much on what the ultimate form of the 8-star battle body should be. Form is form after all, not spirit. What is spirit? Spirit should be the spiritual core of the 9-star hegemon body art. Long Chun had never thought about this question, but now, as if he had suddenly realized the key, he seemed to have grasped it all at once. Ha! Long Chun flashed and came to the 7-treasure glazed tree. Long Chun found that among the 30 million Fengshen Hage disciples, almost all of them had condensed their own natal veins, but about 80% of them basically had one natal vein. Long Chun looked at these people and couldn't help but sigh in his heart. He gave these people a chance, but unfortunately, he couldn't help them change their fate. One life vein was already their limit. However, there were also some people with extremely high talent and good comprehension who had condensed 3 or 4 life veins. Only those who have life veins can exert their life force to the extreme. There is a huge gap between these people and ordinary people with destiny. The strength between the two is incomparable. Looking at the hidden dragon core again, Long Chun was delighted that the hidden dragon warriors had condensed 6 dragon chi veins, and Xiaoye and others had condensed 7. Seeing the lineup of the hidden dragon core, Long Chun felt proud. The warriors of the hidden dragon core were all selected by him personally. This group of kind and resolute girls went through cruel and bloody training in the 7-treasure space, broke through the mystery of life and death, and saw their true nature. This proved that Long Chun's vision was very sharp. However, although Long Chun provided them with the best conditions for cultivation, they could not be separated from their courage to survive after being put to death. Others practice hard, but they practice desperately. It is precisely because of this that they have achieved their current proud achievements. When Long Chun looked at Tang Wanner, he was shocked and couldn't help but use his fingers to count the natal dragon veins behind Tang Wanner. 1, 2, 8, 9, 10. There are really 10 heavenly veins dragon chi. When Long Chun saw the 10 heavenly veins dragon chi, he was stunned. 9 is the extreme, and if he breaks through again, he will enter the human emperor realm. But Tang Wanner has condensed 10 heavenly veins dragon chi. Could it be? Long Chun was surprised and happy. Don't think that you are the only one who can condense 13 heavenly veins dragon chi. The inheritance of the wind god is very powerful. Moreover, the luck of the wind god has not been cut off. Feng Xinyue has poured all the luck of the wind god's lineage into her. It won't be long before she will condense the 11th heavenly vein dragon chi, and her speed will far exceed yours. Chaos Dragon Emperor said, "Hee, this is good. With such a powerful wife, let me also try the feeling of enjoying the coolness under the big tree." Long Chun smiled. Promising. Chaos Dragon Emperor sneered, obviously despising Long Chun's idea. Long Chun spread his hands. Isn't it my strength that I can find such a strong wife? What's promising or not? Your thoughts are too decadent. Long Chun quietly came under the 7 treasures glazed tree without disturbing anyone. He looked at a man who was still sleeping and snoring like thunder, which was a bit scary. However, in addition to the snoring, there were some strange gurgling noises. After listening carefully, Long Chun couldn't help but laugh. It turned out that a man's stomach was rumbling. Although a man consumed the least energy when he was sleeping, his own consumption was too amazing. It was estimated that it would not take long before he would be awakened by hunger and had to eat. Seeing that everything was safe, Long Chun no longer wasted time. He slowly closed his eyes and bathed in the divine light of the 7 treasures glazed tree. 9 blood-colored dragons appeared behind him. Unlike the vague dragon veins of others, this dragon was lifelike, like a living thing. The divine light flowed in his eyes, and the dragon's might was surging, looking down on the eternity. In the scales of the dragon, runes flowed. These were the blood runes passed down to Long Chun by the Chaos Dragon Emperor, all gathered on these dragon scales. Not only the scales, but also the dragon horns, claws, fins, and even the dragon teeth are covered with runes. These runes were not deliberately arranged by Long Chun, but they were left behind after they successfully condensed and found their own positions. The 9 dragons gathered, and the blood rose, wrapping Long Chun heavily. The divine light of the 7 treasures glazed tree passed through the blood-colored mist and reflected on Long Chun's body. At this time, Long Chun carried an endless sacred aura, as if the Dragon Emperor had descended to the world, looking down on the ages. Long Chun's mind was clear, and his heart was as still water at this time, like a mirror, reflecting the endless blood-colored runes. He just looked at them quietly, letting them evolve by themselves, and feeling their fluctuations with his heart. Enlightenment is a mysterious thing. Sometimes it seems to be full of gains, and sometimes it seems to be nothing. But no matter whether you gain or lose, you must always keep your mind clear. If you are always in a state of worrying about gains and losses, it won't take long for you to go crazy. Time passed bit by bit. Long Chun just felt it carefully, not caring about gains and losses. But what he didn't know was that the 9 dragons behind it became more and more solid, and the scales began to show a unique luster, and the dragon claws and dragon teeth showed a dazzling edge. Buzz! Suddenly the void trembled, waking everyone up. Long Chun had to stop feeling and open his eyes. Boom! Suddenly there was a loud bang, and the space channel collapsed. The space collapsed, the roar of the 10,000 dragons, the whole world was shaking constantly, and suddenly a trembling breath came, and strange ripples appeared in the space. When he saw those ripples, Long Chun's face changed slightly. Ha! Long Chun flashed and came to the front of the 10,000 dragons' nest. With a big clap of his hands, the 10,000 dragons' nest trembled violently, and the door of the 10,000 dragons' nest opened with a bang. Buzz! Before everyone understood what was going on, a huge suction force suddenly came, and everyone was sucked into the 10,000 dragons' nest in an instant. Brother Long Chun, how is this? Xiaoye and others exclaimed, just about to ask what happened. Boom, boom, boom. Suddenly, a violent gale came, and the huge 10,000 dragons' nest was shaken by the terrifying gale, and everyone couldn't stand steadily. Long Chun opened the vision of the 10,000 dragons' nest, and saw that outside the 10,000 dragons' nest, the gale was whistling, and the blood-colored wind blades cut the sky, and endless cracks were dense, like a purgatory on earth. Tang Wanner and the others were shocked when they saw the scene outside. Fortunately, they entered the dragon nest. Otherwise, they would have been crushed by the terrifying blood-colored wind blades. I don't know how many people would have died on the spot. This wind blade almost covered the entire world. There was no escape or avoidance. According to Long Chen's estimation, facing this wind blade, those who condensed 3 natal veins could barely resist it, while those who only condensed 2 natal veins would have to rely on luck to survive. Those who only condensed 1 natal vein and ordinary heavenly saints would definitely die. The most terrifying thing was that this wave of blood-colored wind blades came too suddenly, leaving no chance for people to prepare. Such a blood-colored wind blade, even if it was a strong man who condensed 3 natal dragon veins, could be easily seriously injured or even killed if he did not have time to open his defense. Long Chun looked at the blood-colored wind blade, and a hint of sarcasm gradually appeared on his face. In the blood-colored wind blade, he felt the breath of evil. He knew that it was the conspiracy of the Imperial Path reverse scale. It had completely awakened, which also indicated that bloody killings were about to appear. Perhaps it was all the conspiracy of the Imperial Path reverse scale. It used itself as bait to induce the killing of various Tianjiao to help it escape. The reason why Long Chun was able to avoid danger in advance was because his dragon blood power sensed the murderous aura of the Imperial Path reverse scale. Using conspiracy and tricks? That's not the style of the proud dragon clan. Long Chun snorted in his heart. For the first time, Long Chun felt contempt for the inner demon of the Chaos Dragon Emperor, because from the breath of the Imperial Path reverse scale, Long Chun felt its evil and insidious character, and its character of using any means to achieve its goals. The Dragon blood in Long Chen's body and the dragon blood of the Imperial Path Reverse Scale all came from the Chaos Dragon Emperor. At that moment, Long Chen seemed to see a pair of evil eyes looking at him across the endless void. And Long Chen also looked in that direction. The mockery on his face became more obvious, and at the same time, his blood and fighting spirit kept rising. Boom, boom. The blood-colored wind blades kept surging, and the huge 10,000 dragons' nest was blown away. However, the 10,000 dragons' nest was extremely strong, and even if it was not in a defensive state, this attack would not damage it at all. The attack range of the Imperial Path Reverse Scale was extremely wide, and the 10,000 dragons' nest was blown back continuously. After a full hour, the storm stopped, and Long Chen didn't know where he was blown to. When the storm stopped, the gushing dragon blood power came to an abrupt end, and the 10,000 dragons' nest could no longer absorb more power. Boss! At this time, Gu Yang and others woke up one after another. When they saw Long Chen, they were surprised and happy. At this time, Gu Yang, Li Qi, Song Mingyuan, Xiachun, Guoran and others had already condensed 8 natal dragon veins. The dragon energy was surging, and the power of the blood was running around their bodies. The blood seemed to be about to explode. The other dragon blood warriors were also 6-veined heavenly saints, and the sergeants were basically 7-veined heavenly saints. At this time, the dragon blood warriors were full of blood like the sea. Standing in front of them, the disciples of Fengshen Hage felt a tingling scalp. Although everyone was considered a comrade in arms, standing in front of the dragon blood warriors, their sharp aura made people tremble from the depths of their souls. Where are Xiao Lu and Shi? After Xiao Jiu, Xiao Lu and Sister Shi entered the heavenly vein profound realm. They all sensed that the opportunity was calling them. The 3 of them acted separately. We have been summoning the Emperor Dao and Ailin, but there has been no news from them, Xiachun said. At this time, the 8 natal dragon veins behind Xiachun were slowly swimming. His dragon veins were completely different from those of other people. Looking closely, his dragon veins were actually made up of a series of talismans. On each talisman, the power of dragon blood was rising, and it seemed that it would explode at any time, giving people an extremely dangerous feeling. Boss, where are the bastards from the Heavenly Demon Alliance? Let's go kill them now. These animals are bad and foul-mouthed and all deserve to die. Guoran clenched his fists and gritted his teeth. Before, Guoran and others had exhausted their dragon energy and brought out the scales of the Emperor. When their vitality was greatly damaged, the strong men of the Heavenly Demon Alliance appeared in front of them like hyenas smelling rotten meat. The dragon blood warriors were almost exhausted. They were besieged by this group of guys and felt very frustrated. Moreover, the other party humiliated them in various ways. Guoran was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. Now not only has his body recovered, but he has also condensed his natal dragon veins, and his strength has skyrocketed. It is time for revenge. If you want revenge, you have to find a way to awaken your dragon vein first. Long Chen did not answer directly, but pointed at the dragon vein behind Guoran and said with a smile. Following Long Chen's finger, everyone's eyes turned to Guoran's back. When they saw the 8 dragon veins behind Guoran, all the masters of Fengshen Hage suddenly looked strange, as if they wanted to laugh but were embarrassed to do so. Ah! Guoran didn't understand what was going on. He turned around and was speechless. The dragon veins of others were flowing, but his 8 dragon veins were hanging in the air as if they were dead. Would have been fine if they were motionless, but there were 2 big snot bubbles in his nostrils, which kept getting bigger and smaller with his breathing, as if he was sleeping soundly. Guoran was so angry that he wanted to beat them up, but was stopped by Long Chen. That group of guys has already run away. Let it sleep. This can be regarded as recuperation. Long Chen briefly recounted what happened. When everyone heard that such a thrilling battle had happened later, they all broke out in a cold sweat. Fortunately, a man arrived in time, otherwise the dragon blood core would really be destroyed by these animals. We must make the Heavenly Demon Alliance pay the price in blood. Gu Yang gritted his teeth. These guys were too hateful. Revenge? Don't rush. Come. Introduce you to the Sisters of the Hidden Dragon Core. From now on, we are a family. After Long Chen finished speaking, he smiled at Tang Wanner, and at that moment, the pretty faces of the female warriors of the Hidden Dragon Core suddenly flushed. The Dragon Blood Core and the Hidden Dragon Core had a direct encounter this time. Just by hearing the names of the two core, everyone already knew what was going on. The female warriors of the Hidden Dragon Core had always been full of curiosity and expectation about the mysterious Dragon Blood Core. However, when they saw the Dragon Blood warriors, they were so nervous that they couldn't speak. Their pretty faces flushed, and they didn't dare to look at the Dragon Blood warriors. Even Xiaoyu, who was always known for her toughness and decisiveness, became a little shy at this time and didn't dare to speak at all. The Hidden Dragon warriors were very nervous, and the Dragon Blood warriors were not much better. They had followed Long Chen for so many years, so how could they not know what Long Chen was thinking? However, this group of warriors who would never frown even when going through mountains of swords and seas of blood were actually a little nervous at this time. Even Guoran, who was always a show-off, didn't know how to break this embarrassing situation. A bunch of damned things. Seeing the Dragon Blood warriors' cowardly look, Long Chen couldn't help but be speechless. Hee, if they had half the thickness of your skin, they wouldn't be single. Tang Wanner couldn't help but laugh. Damn. Are you praising me or scolding me? Long Chen rolled his eyes. Tang Wanner smiled but said nothing. But this awkward situation must be broken. If everyone doesn't know each other, how can they communicate further? This is the 10,000 Dragons Nest. As the host here, shouldn't you introduce this place to the guests? Don't you plan to take them to visit here? Long Chen couldn't help but remind him. Guoran just reacted and said hurriedly, Fairies, please follow us brothers in and let us do our duty as hosts. Guoran was also dumb at this time. He couldn't say those beautiful words at ordinary times at this moment. However, no matter what, it was enough for others to understand. Following Guoran's action, the Dragon Blood warriors collectively made a gesture of invitation. The Hidden Dragon warriors blushed and dared not look at them. They could only walk over nervously. The interior of the 10,000 Dragons Nest is very large, with countless levels, countless inner rooms, and even hidden small worlds, containing countless secrets of the Dragon Clan. Long Chen knew that most of the Dragon Blood warriors and Hidden Dragon warriors had no love experience. If they wanted to meet each other, they needed a starting point. The magic of the Dragon Clan was the best starting point. In this way, they would have a common topic and could even exchange ideas. Once the conversation started, both sides would not be so nervous. Some of the disciples of the Wind God Sea Pavilion, who could not see the truth, wanted to go in with them, but were stopped by people with good eyes. They were on a blind date, so what was wrong with you going in? Brothers, you can also visit the 10,000 Dragon Nest on your own. There are magic of the Dragon Clan in the 10,000 Dragon Nest, and there is also a challenge arena. If you are interested, you can also study and learn together. Long Chen said with a smile. When Long Chen said this, everyone was ecstatic. The Dragon Clan has always been mysterious. Long Chen actually shared the secrets of the Dragon Clan with them, which shows that he completely regarded them as his own people. Long Chen not only shared the original 9 Li talisman with them, but also opened the secrets of the 10,000 Dragon Nest to them, which moved them very much. Compared with the gains, they cherished Long Chen's trust more. Long Chen has unparalleled magical skills and great ambitions. They can only look up to this kind of proud child of heaven. It is a supreme honor to be trusted by such a person. The Dragon Blood Legion acts as a guide and leads the Hidden Dragon warriors into the depths of the 10,000 Dragons Nest, telling them how they defeated the terrifying existence in the level and what kind of magical powers they obtained. The Hidden Dragon warriors not only understand the hardships of the Dragon Blood warriors, but also can try to break through the level and fight with the powerful dragons inside. The Dragon Blood warriors will also personally demonstrate the dragon magic in the level, communicate with the Hidden Dragon warriors, and both sides will also make a move to confirm, and soon the two sides will become familiar with each other. One group is a passionate man, and the other group is a kind woman. They embarked on the road of cultivation because they wanted to change their fate. They have experienced countless hardships and dangers. Their goals are the same and they have many common topics. Gradually, they have a feeling of meeting each other too late. The Hidden Dragon warriors were very nervous at first, because they knew that every warrior of the Hidden Dragon Corps was so strong that it was terrifying. Such a strong man is arrogant, indifferent, and unattainable in any sect, and often looks down on others. But after contact, they found that the Dragon Blood Warriors are a group of enthusiastic and honest big boys. Being with them, people can let go of all their defenses. That sense of security is something they have never experienced before. The Dragon Blood Warriors also found that the girls of the Hidden Dragon Corps are all kind-hearted women. Looking at them, they will naturally have the desire to protect them. In the past, the Dragon Blood Warriors did not dare to get involved in love affairs for the sake of cultivation, even though Long Chun had reminded them more than once that only by understanding true love can one understand the true way of heaven, and loving someone is also a kind of cultivation. However, the Dragon Blood Warriors witnessed the fall of Yi Zhiqiu and Yu Qingxian with their own eyes. They will never forget the pain in their lives. Long Chen's painful appearance deeply hurt their hearts. Even a powerful man like Long Chun could not protect his lover. So how could they dare to touch love? If a man cannot even protect his lover, they don't know if they still have the courage to live. Therefore, for so many years, the Dragon Blood Warriors have been practicing with all their heart and cut off the desire for love. But today, seeing those pure faces and kind eyes, their hearts as hard as steel have gradually softened. Long Chun and Tang Wanner were in a hall, and on the wall appeared a scene of Dragon Blood Warriors and Hidden Dragon Warriors holding hands, singing and dancing. Tang Wanner took Long Chen's hand, leaned her pretty face on Long Chen's shoulder and said softly, "If there were no disputes, no killing, this 10,000 dragons nest might be the paradise of our dreams." Long Chun stretched out his hand and hugged Tang Wanner's shoulders tightly. He sniffed the unique fragrance of Tang Wanner's hair, smiled slightly and said, "As long as we have each other in our hearts, where is not paradise?" Tang Wanner smiled brightly when she heard Long Chen's words. "This guy really knows how to talk," she said slowly. "We are lost in the snow in two places, and we can grow old together in this life? Long Chun, I suddenly miss them very much." When she said the last sentence, Tang Wanner couldn't help choking up. She thought of Meng Qi, Chu Yao, Yi Zhiqiu, and other sisters. Now she is no longer the Tang Wanner who only knows how to be jealous and have a bad temper. After so many setbacks and hardships, she has grown up. When she thinks of the care and tolerance of her sisters, she feels ashamed and blames herself. Now she is leaning against Long Chun, enjoying his embrace, but she doesn't know where the other sisters are, or even whether they are alive or dead. Thinking of this, she suddenly feels heartbroken. Hearing Tang Wanner's words, Long Chun also felt heartbroken. Thinking of the whereabouts of many confidants, his heart was broken. "I have to become stronger. You must be mine, Huang Dao and Ailin." Long Chun gritted his teeth, knowing that only a strong strength can allow him to reunite with them earlier, and drove the 10,000 dragon nest slowly towards the direction of Huang Dao and Ailin. Long Chun was not in a hurry, because the Chaos Dragon Emperor said that the Imperial Path Reverse Scale was very insidious and cunning, and its goal was to attract more powerful people to fight and absorb their death power. If it was before, the goal of the Imperial Path Reverse Scale was to break the seal, but now it has two goals. One is to break the seal, and the other is to kill Long Chun and suck all his dragon blood essence. Logically speaking, the sooner Long Chun gets there, the better, because now many powerful people are still scattered in all directions of the Tianmai-Shen realm, still fighting for their own opportunities. If these people get their own opportunities, they will definitely come to fight for the Imperial Path Reverse Scale. At that time, the pressure Long Chun faces will be countless times greater than it is now. But Long Chun knows that it is absolutely difficult to obtain the Imperial Path Reverse Scale, and he is also unlucky. It is simply wishful thinking to want to get it by luck. And Long Chun has a hunch that no matter how he calculates and dodges, he should not be able to avoid fighting with all the powerful people in the end. In this case, Long Chun simply gave up all his luck and made the worst plan. Even if the whole world was his enemy, he had to take down the imperial scale. The 10,000 dragon nest moved forward slowly, but there was jubilation in the Wanlong nest. The dragon blood warriors and the hidden dragon warriors sang and danced. They seemed to have returned to their childhood and found the buried innocence. After Long Chun asked Xia Chun to control the direction of the 10,000 dragon nest, he chose to retreat. Long Chun was in a secret space in the 10,000 dragon nest. It was dark without a trace of light. Long Chun was in the darkness, and a pair of huge eyes appeared behind him. The eyes were full of evil. This is one of the strongest trial spaces in the 10,000 dragon nest. At that time, Guyong fought hard for a total of 17 times before he passed this level with a trace of luck. This is the dark evil dragon space, guarded by the remnant soul of the evil dragon from the chaos era. When it saw Long Chun coming, its eyes suddenly became fierce. Just as it was about to transform into a dragon to attack, Long Chun said coldly, "Don't move. I'm going to use your eyeballs to do an experiment." However, when Long Chun finished speaking, the evil dragon's eyes suddenly showed horror. It suddenly found that a powerful force had imprisoned it and it could not move. The power of the Emperor's blood. How could you? The remnant soul of the evil dragon exclaimed. Shut up. Long Chun frowned and shouted coldly. The remnant soul of the dark evil dragon was frightened and trembled, and dared not speak again. Long Chun came in front of it and sat down with his back to it. Don't resist. Long Chun said coldly, and suddenly slowly closed his eyes. As Long Chun closed his eyes, the eyes of the dark evil dragon also closed. Buzz! Suddenly Long Chun opened his eyes, and there was darkness in his eyes. In his eyes, 3,000 runes flickered and intertwined constantly, and gradually a six-pointed star pattern emerged. At the same time, 3,000 runes were flowing in the star sea of Long Chen's dantian, and the hexagram in Long Chen's eyes was their projection. Whether it can succeed depends on this move. Long Chun took a deep breath. This was a very bold idea of his. Buzz! Suddenly, the hexagram in Long Chen's eyes flowed, and the hexagram pattern also appeared in the eyes of the dark evil dragon behind him. But the direction of the hexagram in its eyes was actually the opposite. Ha! Suddenly, the rotating hexagram stopped, and a picture appeared in the huge eyes of the evil dragon. The picture was an endless sea of blood, and in the center of the sea of blood was a mountain made of piles of bones. The mountain was tens of thousands of miles long and reached the sky, but in the endless sea of blood, it was as small as a drop in the ocean. Below the sea of blood, if you look carefully, you can seem to see endless wronged souls swimming, and you can also hear their sobs and wails. There is a throne on the top of the White Bone Mountain. On the throne, a man in white can be seen sitting on it. The man in white seems to have noticed something and suddenly looks up at the sky. Ah! In the 10,000 dragon's nest, the evil dragon screamed. Its eyes burst open, dragon blood flowed, and it kept howling in pain. What is that? The evil dragon roared, and its voice was filled with endless fear. The hexagram pattern in Long Chen's eyes slowly disappeared, and a satisfied smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. Thank you, Long Chen said, and left the evil dragon space. When Long Chun returned to the 10,000 Dragons Nest Hall, the 10,000 Dragons Nest had become quiet. The Dragon Blood Warriors, Hidden Dragon Warriors, and all the disciples of the Wind God Sea Pavilion began to practice again, because as the 10,000 Dragons Nest moved forward, the disappeared imperial power reappeared, and they naturally would not miss this opportunity to improve. The current power is more concentrated and powerful than the one transmitted from the space channel. The 10,000 Dragons Nest has its own magic circle, which will automatically gather the imperial power here. This imperial power not only carries the power of dragon blood, but also the laws of heaven and earth, and a powerful sacred aura. For any race, this is a great tonic. Once missed, you will regret it for the rest of your life. The time spent together is beautiful and happy, but both the Dragon Blood Warriors and the Hidden Dragon Warriors know that this beauty and happiness are short-lived. If you don't work hard to improve, everything will be ruthlessly deprived, and beauty and happiness will eventually turn into endless pain and regret. Only by becoming strong enough can you protect this beauty. This is the cruelty of cultivation. As long as you don't stand at the top of the 9 heavens, everything you have today may become a bubble tomorrow. In the boss Wanlong nest, only Xiachen did not retreat, because he had to control the direction of the Wanlong nest and the movements outside. This time it's considered a complete transformation. Long Chun patted Xiachen on the shoulder and smiled. Xiachen said excitedly, "The natal dragon vein has condensed, and it is indeed a complete transformation. I think my spring has come." "So fast? Congratulations!" Long Chun was stunned at first, and then his face was full of joy. "Ah, ahem, boss, you may have misunderstood. The spring I'm talking about is not the spring you think of," Xiachen said awkwardly. Long Chun rolled his eyes immediately. He thought Xiachen had found a girl he liked among the hidden dragon warriors. After all, Xiachen had a sad past and had not gotten over it for so many years. It was a waste of time for him to be happy for him. "What I mean is that I condensed the magic rune in my natal dragon vein. As long as the dragon vein is endless, the magic rune is endless. As long as the bloodline is endless, the dragon vein will not stop," Xiachen said. Long Chun couldn't help but be moved. "This is amazing. Condensing runes with the power of bloodline, with the blessing of dragon soul, bloodline as the source. As long as the bloodline is not exhausted, the runes will not run out." Xiachen's runes are amazingly powerful, but there is also a huge flaw, that is, engraving runes requires a lot of time and experience. Every time there is a big battle, Xiachen's savings will be used up, and then he will continue to desperately carve runes. In the entire Dragon Blood Corps, he is the busiest. A rune master without a formation plate and runes is like a tiger with its limbs chopped off and its teeth pulled out, almost useless. But now Xiachen can condense runes with the power of his blood, which is scary. No wonder this guy is so excited. Indeed, his spring has come. There are people fighting ahead. They are human, Xiachen suddenly exclaimed. Through the formation of the 10,000 dragons' nest, Xiachen captured the fluctuations of the battle and also sensed the breath of the human race. "Go and have a look." Boom, boom, boom. A loud noise shook the sky ahead. Although there was still some distance to go, Long Chun could already see the situation ahead through the formation of the 10,000 dragons' nest. He saw 2 teams of human race warriors fighting frantically. The ground was full of corpses, and the blood dyed the mountains and rivers red. The battle was extremely tragic. Both teams of warriors were human race, but from their clothes, Long Chun could not recognize their origins. One of the teams had tens of millions of people with a huge momentum and many warriors. There were hundreds of thousands of natal celestial saints alone. In the battle, they had an absolute advantage. On the other hand, the other team had less than half the number of the other team, and most of them were injured. As the battle continued, more and more casualties occurred. They rushed from left to right, trying to break through the blockade, but their way was firmly blocked, like fish in a net. No matter how they struggled, it was useless. It was only a matter of time before they perished. "Kingman bastards, you will not die well. Just wait for our Tianmen Villa's endless revenge." Among the besieged warriors, a 9 Veins heavenly saint was covered in blood, holding a sharp sword and slashing desperately while roaring. What surprised Long Chun was that this person was actually a warrior who had condensed 9 natal heavenly veins, but his breath was weak and the power of the heavenly veins fluctuated abnormally, as if he had the power but could not use it. Among the warriors who besieged him, the strongest was only a 7 Veins heavenly saint. Although there were more than a dozen of them, it was reasonable to say that not to mention a dozen 7 Veins heavenly saints, even 107 Veins heavenly saints would not be qualified to challenge a 9 Veins heavenly saint. Soon Long Chun saw the clue. This 9 Veins heavenly saint should have broken through with the help of external force. He either used a secret method or encountered some opportunity to condense 9 natal heavenly veins at once. But the 9 veins in this state need to grow in the later stage, otherwise the power of the 9 veins cannot be exerted at all. His opponents saw this and took action against them. "Wan Xiaoshan, my dear young master of Tianmen Villa, How old are you? Why are you still saying such childish things? Revenge? How to retaliate? Today, your army was annihilated. Who knows it was us? Even if they know it was us, what can we do? My Chingha sect has been surrendered to the Lord of Brahma. Do you dare to retaliate against the Brahma lineage? Senior Brother Brahmada has already said that if there are any human beings in Tianmai Xianjing who refuse to submit to the Brahma lineage, they will be killed without mercy. Among the strong men on the opposite side, a man holding a strange sword said with a gloomy face. The long sword in the man's hand was covered with saw teeth at the front, and 2 teeth were embedded in the middle of the sword. Turned out to be a rare soft sword. This long sword flew up and down in his hand, like a spirit snake spitting out its tongue. His moves were weird and cruel. Among the many strong men, he posed the greatest threat to Wan Shaoshan. Fuck you, Brahma. You bastard who is arrogant in his own nest. You don't know how to deal with foreign enemies. You only know how to stir up internal strife among the human race. Although our Tianmen villa is small, we are not willing to serve this coward. Wan Shaoshan roared. However, his roar distracted him, and he was almost stabbed in the middle of his eyebrows by the man's soft sword. Although he avoided the vital point at the critical moment, the tip of the sword still cut his forehead, and the blood instantly dyed half of his face red. Idiot, if you don't know the current situation, you will only be ruthlessly eliminated. I am too lazy to talk nonsense with you. I have one last question for you. Hand over all your treasures and I will spare your life. I, Tian Wenjing, keep my word. The man shouted loudly. Hearing this, Long Chun instantly understood that Tian Wenjing was not a good-for-nothing. He used the tiger skin as a banner and the name of Brahma to rob openly. As long as they don't join the Brahma lineage and they can beat them, they will blackmail them without hesitation. It must be said that Tian Wenjing is a sinister person with a vicious eye. He actually saw that Wan Shaoshan only had a realm but couldn't exert his strength. He not only wanted the treasure, but also wanted to get the secret of Wan Shaoshan's advancement to the 9 Veins Heavenly Saint. Although some opportunities cannot be replicated, what if it happens? Don't make mistakes. Fuck you, Tian Wenjing, you don't even look in the mirror to see your own nature. With your sinister and vicious face, I would rather believe the fart of a dog than believe what you say. Although my Tianmen villa is small, it also has proud bones. It would rather die than live in disgrace. You may be able to kill us, but you want us to surrender? Dream on. Wan Shaoshan roared. Boom boom. Wan Shaoshan already knew that he would definitely not be lucky today, so he had to fight to the death. He could kill as many people as he could. He directly burned the power of the dragon vein and launched a violent charge. Wan Shaoshan fought desperately. Tian Wenjing and others immediately took a defensive position. They would not be stupid enough to fight Wan Shaoshan head-on. As long as Wan Shaoshan's momentum was over, he would enter a weak period, and then he could only be bullied. Sure enough, after a few moves, Wan Shaoshan's breath dropped rapidly. At that moment, Wan Shaoshan's eyes were full of despair and unwillingness. He knew that he must not fall into their hands today, otherwise he would be unable to live or die. Just when Wan Shaoshan was about to commit suicide, buzz! A huge monster covered the sky. The vast dragon power radiated, and thousands of roars roared. The strong men in the battle felt their bodies suddenly sink, and their souls trembled under the pressure of the terrifying power. They couldn't help but look up. Then they saw a huge dragon nest like a mobile space fortress. The strong sense of oppression made everyone stop fighting. The Brahma lineage handles the internal affairs of the human race. What advice do friends of the dragon race have? Tian Wenjing saw the dragon nest and thought it was a strong man from the dragon race passing by, so he shouted loudly. He mentioned the name of Brahma, and also pointed out that it was an internal affair of the human race. It must be said that this guy was quite good at speaking. Not only did he cover up the fact that he had killed people and robbed goods, he was able to intimidate the other party and maintain a certain degree of humility. Still Brahma lineage? Your sister. Go to hell. However, what answered him was Xia Chen's scolding. Swish. Suddenly a sharp sound of breaking through the air sounded. But when that sound appeared, it was shaking in all directions, and no one knew where the sound came from. Puff! Suddenly a divine light appeared, and people saw a flash of golden light and shadow, and Tian Wenjing's head was pierced. When the golden light pierced Tian Wenjing's head, people saw that it was actually a talisman. The talisman was glowing with divine light, and it looked like scales, sharp and unmatched. You! Tian Wenjing looked ahead and said only one word. Then his body slowly fell down, and was killed by a single blow. Boom! However, at the moment he fell, the scale talisman that was suspended in the air exploded and turned into countless fragments, shooting in all directions. Swish, swish, swish. Each fragment accurately hit the heads of the surrounding strong men, bringing out a burst of blood rain.